that's where it gets kind of iffy and scary and weird because, I don't really know. I don't know how this is going to play out. I guess
unprecedented.
It's just like everybody else. We're
really
just going to have to sit and see. But it is a unique situation, certainly, where a guy says, well, it's almost like it's not totally different from what Brad Stevens did with the Celtics. Except
pretty close.
It just felt a lot more like Brad Stevens wanted to do it.
I'm out of this. I don't want to coach. It's killing me. I'd rather run.
Or it felt like Brad Stevens felt like he could do more for the team in the second role. I don't know that Popovich thinks he's going to be better at this job.
No, Pop's a coach.
Yeah.
Pop's a coach, and everything else was peripheral to coaching.
This is just like, this is the job we feel like, and I don't think he's going to have day-to-day duties, like where he's got to report to someone, this is what I got done today. No. Like, you know what I mean? This is, I think what you said, like a consigliere, like, hey, this is.
He'll be in the Rose Garden if you need to have a question.
This is who you come talk to. Right. Like, he'll let you know if I would like to present you.
It was Bodzini all along.
I would like to ask of you, Mr. Popovich, I would like to ask of you a favor for my family.
You come to me for counsel only in troubled times.
Yes.
Why do you not come on the best of days?
You come to me on the day of my great-great-great-granddaughter's wedding. That's
I am Jefe.
Oh.
Let's read the shirt.
No, but listen, man, I wish the best for him. I hope that I will say this. I'm glad that the Spurs are doing this because I think if you took everything away from Pop, it would go downhill in a hurry.
Oh, well, again, you couldn't. There's just too much of his aura, and if you tried to remove it, you would open a wound so deep that there would be no fixing it. I mean, if you tried to just if you was say forcibly exit, forcibly retired, given the emeritus, and you're not fired, but you can't come back,
right?
Kind of stuff. No, the chasm inside, just the corporation that is the Spurs, couldn't recover.
Well,
too big to fail.
There's another organization that lost a piece that I would say is equally as important as Gregg Popovich. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, Highway 90 eastbound, 211 on over to Loop 410. That's in good shape. Traffic flowing freely along 35 southbound, FM 1518 on down to 410. No delays right now. 1604 westbound, 281 as you make your way on over to I-10. And on Loop 410 eastbound from Bandera Road to 281, traffic flowing freely. Now looks like they just cleared that stall at 90 westbound General Hudnell. If you guys see something we're not talking about, give us a call on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ziprecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the Cowboys have wrapped up their rookie mini camp. What did Shireen Williams see? We'll ask her at 5:15.
Plus, the NBA playoffs in full swing. A couple of game ones last night. There's action tonight. We'll get you ready.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Nice. Midnight Oil. You a fan of the band?
Do they have songs besides this?
I think they have one or two.
I think one more.
This is when there was this small Aussie explosion when NXS came. Then we had Hunters and Collectors and Midnight Oil and a couple other Aussie bands.
I knew NXS was involved.
Yeah, well, they were the first, Well, the first big Aussie band was the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
But this is when not only do you have the Aussie inflection, but you also had the we were all trying to save the world.
Oh, yeah.
One way or the other. So Midnight
I remember
Oil
it.
played
I
with
almost
that.
did it.
Well, I keep my cape and suit in the closet every now and then.
Yeah, I don't know
the
that
bat signal. I go try to save the world again.
Yeah, I don't know any other songs by the
That's
band
it.
Midnight Oil.
They have one other, I think.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, man. You got one big hit. It's a pretty
All
good
it
run.
takes. Yeah.
Pretty good run, man.
Mailbox money.
All right. I teased this. A man who's been as tied to his organization as Gregg Popovich also gone yesterday as Justin Tucker will no longer be kicking for the Baltimore Ravens. And I say it sarcastically, but it is wild. Justin Tucker is, without question, the greatest kicker who's ever played football.
Yeah, I think that's... But he was not on the field what he was.
No, but he was also. It's also a situation where, very much like the Pop situation, where you could say was Pop the last 3-4 years? Was he at his was he coaching as well as he was in his prime? I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't. There was no decline in acumen.
Okay.
No,
there was a decline. There was a decline in success rate.
Well, yeah, what I was going to say was his coaching acumen hadn't changed. Now the style of the kind of game he coached hadn't changed either. Now the rest of the game had. He'd acquiesced a bit. Now we saw more and more threes, but he was slow to adopt. He was. I mean, there's a reason for his success, and like every coach, why would I change what has brought 5 rings? But the world changed.
But he had gone through a run of
as every old coach
less than stellar results.
Yeah, and I mean for a lot of reasons. But no, I don't think anybody questioned his ability to bring out the best in the players that he had. Now, some of the best wasn't maybe applicable to the modern game. Some of these guys, I mean, DeMar DeRozan left here the best mid-range jump shooter in all of the NBA, and he arrived here as the best mid-range jump shooter in all of the NBA. I mean, we didn't affect any change from him, but he made him a better player. And everybody who's come through will tell you, I'm a better player, and just on the court, not even talking about the man, but the player. He's still a great coach. And I would say even today, he is one of the most extraordinary coaches walking the planet. He will make you a better player. Now, that doesn't always apply to the game, though. And I will agree that the game itself, after you watch what the Celtics did last night, it has changed because that wouldn't happen to the Spurs. Pop would go, no more threes. We're going to go win it another way.
Right.
But that he wouldn't even have started with that intention. So the game's changed. He hadn't.
Well, in year 13, Justin Tucker had seen some decline.
Yeah.
He was still a very serviceable NFL kicker. But my point with Pop was if there weren't extenuating circumstances, the on-field / on-court results would have been overlooked to just based on what he's done in his history.
Well, I heard. Well, I think some of that, and I think actually Tucker went through that last year because he went through that. We knew the accusations by this time last year, didn't we?
No. It was mid-season.
Mid-season, and we applied that to. Well, no wonder he's missing.
Yes,
but I do think that they knew and Tucker knew probably before we knew. So you get the sense that this was probably floating around, and they said, we will let the football take care of how long you stay here until there's a physical accusation, till you are accused and going to trial. We're going to let this float around and let the football make the decision. And the football was not good. I mean, you had an off year. You can blame what's going on off the field, but either way, he was doomed the moment he started missing.
Now, I will say this in defense of Justin Tucker, not of his personal life, but I'm talking about of his football life. While last year was not his best year, he was 22 of 30 kicking field goals.
And if he was getting paid league minimum or average for kicker, that'd be one thing. But think about how much he's getting paid to do that.
Right.
So every mess is magnified by X. You know what I mean?
But he was 16 of 19 from inside 50 yards. It's just Justin Tucker had.
That's not why you have.
He had reset. Justin Tucker. You got to give him credit. Reset what we thought about as a makeable kick. Like that when Justin Tucker started playing, to kick a 50-yard field goal was like that was going to be on SportsCenter.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I mean, I think he changed the way we look at the possibilities of a long kick, and Justin Tucker made it expected. 60-yarder, he's going to make this. Where before a 60-yarder, you stop the clock and everybody watch because it might be a new record.
Right.
Well, it was 63 forever. But, I agree with all of that he did change the paradigm. But you can't be once, no matter how good or bad a person you are, once your output doesn't match your salary.
100%.
You are just expendable.
And right now, this is – you know what? This is a comparison that will probably peeve a lot of people, but I don't care because I'm a person who peeves people, and it is what it is. This is not dissimilar to Colin Kaepernick. At some point, you say
it's just not worth it.
There's enough of a distraction involved with this that you aren't a good enough player anymore to warrant us talking about this all the time.
Colin was never worth the squeeze. Well, Justin was the best to ever do it. That was a very big difference. I mean, Colin was never worth the effort. He was a very good quarterback, and his skills were in decline when this came down.
Yes.
Justin was also in decline, but he was coming off the best to ever do it plateau.
If Justin Tucker had just finished his 2022 season, the Ravens would be in a really tough spot because I'm sure, and you know what? I'm sure they were in a tough spot even yesterday because this guy has been such a mainstay in their organization to the point where, like, when you see like Ravens locker room stuff, Justin Tucker is one of the only kickers who doesn't get treated like a kicker. Like his teammates treat him like a football player, and it's kind of weird almost. But it's
he was the guy that when he first came in the league would go down and make the tackle. I remember what gave him the glory. But he's scarlet lettered persona non grata. You can't even be seen in his presence.
No,
and he got last year because of everything you just described.
If it
wasn't for everything that he had done till last year.
Or at least he got to finish last year.
He got the credit for, well, at least I knew him was when he was a good guy, or at least it wasn't apparent. But when you find out this dude has been banned for life from not one but two of the high-end exclusive spas, like, dude, what do you have to do?
Yeah.
I mean, what exactly is it? Whatever you're doing is wrong, brother.
Vic's laughing because Vic's also banned from several high-end spas in Baltimore.
Why isn't he doing the Bob Kraft rub and tug around the corner? Why did he go to that happy endings and tarot card readings?
Those gals don't call the cops. Okay,
right.
They don't tell the media.
You got to lower your expectations.
Yeah, he's messing with these fancy ones. Now, it's a weird situation the Ravens found themselves in, but I think their hand was kind of forced.
Oh, good riddance, man. If he's out there doing what he's accused of, brother, you're lucky you had a career at all.
But again,
and it's over. This hadn't happened since 2016. I don't know what happened in 2016 that stopped this, but the last accusation has been like almost a decade ago. So I don't know whether he found a counseling transpired or did start going to the corner rub and tugs, because no more after that.
And the same way, like, you know, I would say, hey, let's wait it out, because remember Trevor Bauer, and I still stand by it. Trevor Bauer he got the worst deal ever just because
he got no credit for being a good guy because he never was.
He's not a good guy, but he's into weird sex. He likes girls who are into weird sex. That's not a crime.
That's the name of his new podcast, by the way.
Into Weird Sex?
No, and that's not a crime.
Oh, and that's not a crime. Oh, that's a good one, actually. Yeah. Whereas I was willing to give Justin Tucker the benefit of the doubt when one or two gals came forward and said something. Now, much like Deshaun Watson, the numbers are overwhelming.
Well, we didn't know he'd been banned for life from two spas. If I'd have heard that right then, I'm like, I don't know if you know what right and wrong is, but whatever you're doing is wrong.
Yeah, not banned like they didn't ban him yesterday. They didn't say yesterday you're not allowed to come back to the spa. Like, it's been that way. I'm not going to sit here and defend Justin Tucker. Quite frankly, he's one of my favorite football players of all time. Like, he is. As far as kickers go, I enjoy him. I enjoy the swagger. I mean, it's also kind of cool knowing this dude just booting 60-yarders like it's nobody's business.
You should have known by his choice of college that he had trouble making good decisions. You should have known by his very first choice that some of the next choices weren't going to be nearly as,
He is also the favorite kicker of every Aggie ever, because what we once thought was the last hurrah of Texas versus Texas A&M, he was the hero or the villain, depending on how you looked at that rivalry of that last matchup.
I blocked it out. I don't remember.
You don't remember that kick?
No, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think we were part of a different conference.
He remembers
it's kind of
Auburn.
Like, it's kind of like the Confederacy. We don't talk about things like
Maybe
that.
so.
We remember a place that we didn't mean to be.
But, yeah, this is a fall from grace, certainly, at best. And at worst, this may be like the beginning of some criminal.
Yeah, if this is true, just like with Deshaun, if it's true, I hope you can't buy your way out of it, and I hope that your papers follow you to wherever you end up spending some quiet time.
Yep.
Like my cop friend always said, sometimes you can beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride. Maybe you can beat a lot of that rap, but a little bit of it catches up with you with your fellow inmates when they find out you're a bit of a pervert.
Hey, I know Ray Lewis.
Oh, you do.
Oh, all right. We're gonna let
Ray
you
Caruso's a friend of mine. Oh,
we're gonna let you make it, Bubba. All right, we'll be back. Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, Highway 90 eastbound, 211 on over to Loop 410. That's in good shape. Traffic flowing freely along 35 southbound, FM 1518 on down to 410. No delays right now. 1604 westbound, 281 as you make your way on over to I-10. And on Loop 410 eastbound from Bandera Road to 281, traffic flowing freely. Now looks like they just cleared that stall at 90 westbound General Hud now. If you guys see something we're not talking about, give us a call on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch. Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. You can with Orchard. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday one. You buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday two. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free in or out of your vehicle. We can help you find the best battery for your vehicle and budget. O'Reilly Auto Parts has batteries starting at just $89.99. Get your battery tested for free today at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-885-4884. 800-885-4884. 800-885-4884.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle. based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is Jason Minix from the Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
After all, you're my wonderwall.
You a fan of them?
Yeah.
See, I turned to Vic when he was queuing this up. I was like, these are the kind of the U2 of the next generation.
Yeah.
For about 5 years, Oasis was it. I'd like to go see their shows, man.
Yeah, they might have oversold themselves.
Oh, yeah. They burned bright. But
the Beatles were bigger than Jesus, and we're bigger than the Beatles. Not quite.
They're going to be in Manchester on May the 24th. You want to go?
No. Are they're playing together again?
Yeah, they're touring.
I've seen.
They're going to be in Edinburgh on August the 9th. That'd be awesome.
Oh, my wife would love that.
Edinburgh.
I've seen one of them. I don't know if it was Liam or Noel. I think it was Liam Gallagher I went and saw.
I want to punch them both in the face. But
yeah,
they're the kind of Brits that I hate.
That's pretty much all British people.
Well, there's some Brits that I appreciate, and then there's others I just want to punch. I don't know why. I don't know what the separation is, but it's like porn. I just know it when I see it.
Casey said something.
Casey whom?
Casey on the Brigade Bar said something that is in a way works, but in a way is just circumstantial. He says, I think Duke and Coach K did it correctly with transitioning from a legend.
When you have the ability.
Well,
yeah.
The only reason that you can say they did it right is because John Shire hasn't been a loser. Because otherwise, what they didn't do it any differently than Villanova did it with Jay Wright giving power to Kyle Neptune. The difference was
they chose the right dude.
Kyle Neptune sucked. But
we also
John Shire hasn't.
Well, you never know circumstances. You really don't. I mean, there might have been a bunch of people at Nova that said, this is a crazy thing to do. This guy can't do it, and he did it anyway. I don't know what the circumstances behind Duke. I'll tell you this. I felt like Coach K waited until the right guy came. I don't think he had any decision as to when I'm going to retire. I'll just know when it's time when I have my heir apparent. And I think he realized he had Shire. And I will say this. I think that Pop felt like he had his heir apparent in Mitch Johnson. Because I'll tell you, I thought Will Hardy was going to get this job. I just felt like he was the guy, and he would have been if the time was right, but the time wasn't right. And I don't think Pop ever had any intention of hiring anybody who had not sat right beside him for a couple of years. Not the dudes that left. Those guys were off the list. You had to have been here recently to be the next. And Mitch has been here recently and for a long time altogether. And what I saw yesterday and the condition of Pop, this was the plan. It was a plan a year ago before the stroke. This was the plan.
I mean, it's entirely possible. It's just if it works, we're going to go great. They handled it perfectly.
No,
and if is Kyle Neptune that we're going to go, ooh, that was a disaster.
AJ, more likely than not, it's a Neptune hire. And that's just by looking at at history. More likely than not, the next guy is not ready, capable, or able. Whatever it is, it's rare. It just doesn't happen the way you expect it to. But I will say this, rarely are coaches in a situation like John Shire, where you do get to start at Duke with the #1 recruiting class in the country kind of stuff. So it is a product of circumstance, and this circumstance is pretty freaking ideal. So he does have some cards in his hand that a lot of guys who get handed the next opportunity don't have. So he has some benefits that others have had that didn't have, that failed. So he's in a good place, but I'll tell you, as much as we could say this was the plan, and I'm glad that they were able to do this. It's not that we should be happy. We should just be happy that they're in a position to execute what their plan was. That doesn't mean the plan was right.
Right, and that's going to be the question. And like you say it all the time, it's hard to be the guy following the guy. It's going to be hard to be the guy following the guy here, but we've known that since it's been a long time. We've known that eventually this was going to it was going to end, and we always knew the next guy's in for a hell of a job, and now we know who that next guy is. So we'll see how it works out.
We are all guardedly optimistic, I think I would be the term for most Spurs fans, is guarded optimism, but there is a quotient of concern.
Okay.
And rightfully so. I would like to think RC is guardedly optimistic like we are. I mean, there's a quotient for concern because we're in a place we haven't been in 30 years.
Yep. I don't know that I've got guarded optimism. I think I've got skepticism.
Well, guarded skepticism is probably a better term for most.
Because this is, to me, I would say I would be more open to the optimism if I hadn't seen last season under Mitch. And that's where my skepticism comes from. I do think the Spurs are one of, if not the best well-run, best run organizations in sports, over the last 25 years. There is something to where you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. They draft a random Euro that a lot of people turn their nose up and go, oh, that'll never work. And then they turn into, superstars, Hall of Famers. There is some sort of credit that this organization has earned that should make people go, okay, let's just see. But because I saw what I saw last year, I go, yeah.
Well, I would say this. And once you let's put things into context. So when you think about how Mitch coached this year and the outcome and the losses and all that happened, do you think he would have coached this way and would have allowed games where Malachi Brenham played 30 minutes? It would allowed games where Julian Champagny, as much as we love him, we know there's not a long term there, played as much as he did instead of Castle. Do you think he would have coached different if he knew if you fail, you're fired? Or do you think he coached the way you would coach if they came to you and said, we know this is ahead of schedule, but you're taking over the reins, and we don't have a lot of expectations for this year because the process was going to be for Wemby to continue to develop, us to get some of these draft picks and move some of the others and put a team together. That's the next step after the draft of Wemby. So your job, #1, is develop individual skill set that will fit on a grander scheme. And if you lose some games, it's okay. And when we trade for De'Aaron Fox, he's only going to play 5 games. We're not going to hold that against you. It's okay. I think he coached and they played knowing he wasn't going anywhere. That if I lose, I'm not going to be counted against. This is a freebie. And next year is going to be different. And I think when you look back at how the season went, he coached in a manner that was wins and losses? No, but development matters. And now we can question whether we saw the development. I mean, he can point to the Rookie of the Year and say, look at what I did with Castle. I mean, that's going to be his. Yep. But guarded optimism or skepticism lies in if you look at this and say, well, this was always the plan. You can go, well, maybe he didn't have to coach balls to the wall. I got to win every game or I'm going to get fired. And you do coach differently then.
Well, we'll discuss if we think that was the case or not on the other side. Morning Huddle 94.1.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then, place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief occasion. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Keep your ride summer road trip ready with parts, tools, and accessories from Summit Racing. We have what you need for pre-trip maintenance, plus essentials like emergency roadside kits, tire inflators, jumper cables, boost jump starters, tool sets, and a whole lot more. So hit the highways or take the roads less traveled with confidence. Shop SummitRacing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 25th, 2025. SummitRacing.com. Let's build it together.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check for your wallet first, before hitting the drive-thru.
$6.
Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Y'all act like you never seen a white person before. Jaws all on the floor. I saw Pamela Anderson yesterday. She looks way different.
You don't want to see your heroes grow old.
Nah, not that one.
She's still, hey, man.
She'll, you know what?
Hey, she looks pretty damn good. And she looks pretty fantastic even now. I'm going to give her some credit.
But her hair, not.
Yeah, well, there's some stuff some of the peripheral stuff. But, I mean, she's a beautiful woman for her age. I'm going to give her credit.
Yep.
But it just, I mean, my God.
Look at her walking around, grabbing her you-know-what.
Time.
Flipping the you-know-who.
Time,
you know.
Oh, was it an angry post?
No, I was going back to the song a little bit.
Oh, I was.
My bum is on your lips. My bum is on your lips.
See, that's. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, she got older, man. She's in her 60s. What do you expect?
Well, and she took out her cans too.
Well, yeah.
You know, they're bad for you long term. Which, hey, that's the haircut I'm talking about, though. That top left.
That is. Why is that a popular haircut?
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I mean, that's the female version of the Edgar.
I think what happens is
the Edgret. Yeah. What do we call that?
I think what happens is when your hair starts to lose volume, it start to thin out a little bit.
You go with
Guadalupe.
It looks like my wife calls that a doo-doo curl. It's like a. It's like a roll of doo-doo right there on her forehead.
Yeah, I don't like that haircut. I'm like, listen, she looks good for an aging woman. I'm not trying to say she doesn't. For a woman that was a sex symbol when I was young.
Oh, I had a poster of her in my room.
You know,
oh my God, I had her Playboys. I had it all. I mean,
you think of those that did hold on for a long time.
Do you know what I had to go through to get that
well, like Raquel Welch held on for a long time.
Yeah.
What's her name now?
Salma Hayek.
Oh my God, is the living and
I don't know how she does it.
What's her name? There's Jennifer
Lopez
and J-Lo, Jennifer Aniston. They've held on for a long time.
Jennifer Aniston,
she's held on. Have I not seen a more recent photo?
You know what? I don't know. All I heard once was that Jennifer Aniston had really bad breath, and I've never been able to look at her the same.
Oh, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, I've never found her all that.
Bad toes.
I've never found her all that alluring anyway.
Ooh,
she's not for me.
There was an age,
but yeah, Salma Hayek is still as hot, and I feel like she's as hot now.
Shakira's held on to.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean. It's a rare thing, but God bless.
Mirren. Helen Mirren's the other one that held on for a long time.
Helen Mirren today?
No, well, currently she's in her 70s, but for the longest time, Helen Mirren.
I think she might be 80.
It might be in her 80s.
But would you?
I'm pretty sure Salma Hayek's a vampire.
She's the gal from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, and that was, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
That's a good picture.
Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
That is proof God loves us right there.
Oh, my.
That is proof that He does indeed care for my well-being.
That's right.
I'll say a little prayer of thanks.
That's right.
My new screensaver.
I use these screensavers. You ever bop your baloney, AJ?
Casey says Sofia Vergara, good Lord.
Sophia,
how old is she? She can't be that old,
I'm telling
can she?
Hell, doing well. Not just holding on, but thriving.
Joe says Stifler's mom. No, I'm out on that.
She had her time. Don't get me wrong.
Like when she was Stifler's mom, she was a hot
even
older
up
gal.
until recently. But she's
those commercials. I can't.
No, those aren't helping her. That's not helping.
No, it's not for me. How old is Sofia Vergara?
She is 52.
Okay, yeah, she is hot for 52.
Oh yeah,
she's hot. For 88.
But she's not that old. She,
52. That's
like
She's only a year older than me.
Salma Hayek's like almost 60, and
yeah, she's a vampire.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her. I'm not aging as gracefully, so maybe I can't talk about Pamela Anderson.
We don't have to age quite that same. We've somehow managed to figure out how dad bod became sexy.
That's
I'm
right.
Down. I'm all in.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, dad bods are in, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh yes.
I maintain a pretty consistent panda bear shape.
That's right. That's right. My wife loves my bod too. Loves it. No, probably not. But she tolerates it at a minimum.
There we go. That's a word, right?
Yeah.
Tolerates it. Accepts.
My wife does too.
Yep. She's like, oh, I guess it's good enough.
Well, it's what we got. You know? Might as well make what we got.
It'll do. It'll do. All right.
Hey, if I don't see an El Jefe T-shirt for sale on Military Drive today, if there's not an El Jefe shirt on Calabria, Zarzamora right in there at some point in the next 24 hours, we've lost our touch. El Jefe shirts on the corner of Military and Roosevelt.
All right.
Come on, get busy.
Wild night in the NBA last night. We haven't even addressed it. We'll do that next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6 for 6, and the Aggies have the lead.
Your home for Aggies football. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Have you been thinking about starting TRT? The time is now. You can visit any Synergenics or Low T center and get your consultation and test free. Don't let Low T slow you down this summer. Get the energy you need at Low T Center and Synergenics. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost, so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
It is playoff basketball time. While they're scoring buckets, you could be scoring cash on Underdog, one of the leading sports apps out there, the best place to go make all your sports picks. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews, and I love playing the pick'em game at Underdog, where you just have to choose higher or lower on predicted stats. Download the Underdog app, sign up with my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute definitely slowing down. We do have a stall just now reported in Bernie at I-10 westbound at Balcones Creek. It's picking up a left lane. It's slow along 35 southbound FM 3009 on down to 1604. Sluggish on 1604 eastbound Shanefield to Bandera Road. And it's stop and go along Highway 90 eastbound 211 to Hunt Lane. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. That number 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continued last night. Both road teams winning in thrilling fashion. The New York Knicks 108-105 over the Boston Celtics. Jalen Brunson had 29 points in the overtime win. The Denver Nuggets took down the Oklahoma City Thunders on the road 121-119. Aaron Gordon hit a three with 3 seconds to go to take the victory. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Good morning, everybody. Hope we're all having a good day, a lovely day.
Yeah, dress appropriately. It's damp out there.
It is. Well, what are you going to do, wear galoshes?
Yes, and your slickers. I don't know.
It's kind of damp.
I don't know what
just
you do.
Pressure washing.
Well, I mean, you might not want to wear your J's today. You might want to put on something.
No Travises. Nothing.
Don't wear your Travises. Nothing where that can catch some dirt. That's just what I'm warning people.
There's puddles out there.
You don't want to walk out in a fresh pair of whites and look down and go, well, man, there went the laces.
Yeah.
There went the laces.
That'll happen. You don't want to walk out in your white cowboy hat.
There it went.
Or your white suit, your white leisure suit.
Which I was going to wear today.
Yeah, I mean, today would be a normally you would think May 6th would be a day you would wear a white leisure suit, but
it's Tuesday.
Did you do any margaritas or anything for Cinco de Mayo?
No.
I didn't either.
Only thing about Cinco de Mayo for me is Canelo fighting, and where is it? That's the it's the ceremonial Cinco de Mayo celebration is the Canelo fight.
We call amateur hour. I don't like to be out on Cinco de Mayo. I also think it's funny that Cinco de Mayo hits right after Fiesta here, so people are like,
we just had 10 consecutive Cinco de Mayos.
They're like, nah, I'm good, man.
I've had enough micheladas for the year.
Yeah, that's enough. Wild day in the association as the Celtics and the Thunder lose, both in pretty spectacular fashion. And now all three higher seeds that have played so far in these playoffs are down 1-0 going into Game 2. That's Cleveland, Boston, and OKC. The three monstrous favorites. The three of those versus the field is, I mean, it's not even close. First I'll ask you, which one surprised you more? And I'll ask you that, and then we'll start with that game. Which finish surprised you more? Which result surprised you more?
Jalen Brunson. We have to start talking about him in the same sentence as Derrick Rose in that MVP year and Allen Iverson in that kind of run. And I'm trying to find in the annals of basketball not just a guard that took over a series, but a little guard like him. And it's guys like, remember Kevin Johnson with Phoenix for a brief shining moment. And there's that kind of player, when they get hot, you can't stop them because they are so accustomed to taking the difficult shot that there's nothing you're going to do to them that's going to alter their game. It's already hard for them. They're already under 6 feet tall, and they're already having to shoot at angles or use speed at which you can't defend anyway, or they're doing things that have already outsmarted or outdone your defense. It's these little guys, when they get on heaters, and I think of the time when Jeremy Lin got hot, where you can't stop them. There's nothing to take away because they're already doing the most difficult things possible because they're little. They have to do things in a different way. The surprising thing is how Brunson is able to hit that level, though of the three dudes I just mentioned, and I could include Kevin Johnson in there, and I'm sure you guys could come up with some others that had a run like this, where there's nothing you can do. And he does it with the least of the physical gifts of all that have done it. He's not going to run past you. He's not going to jump over you. He's going to outsmart you and outbody you. He does it very differently. It's not an abject surprise. The outcome and his play was, my gosh, I mean, you're not going to stop him. He's going to have to cool off. And it's not just shooting. It's passing. It's defense. It is everything. He is on a heater, the likes of which you just hope he cools because ain't no defense stopping that.
No. If you want to go back a little bit further, Calvin Murphy.
Calvin way back when. I'm trying to think of the kid that ended up at Charlotte, but the run he had was in college when he won the NCAA championship at UConn up in Dallas a couple years back, where there just wasn't any stopping.
What is his name? I know who you're talking about.
The little guards that get on a heater.
I think he actually won in Houston.
Was it Houston?
I think he was.
I forget the city I was in.
I don't know what his name. Kemba Walker.
Yeah, Kemba. You look at those little dudes that just get on freaking fire, and there's there's nothing to take away from them because they're already limited. I mean, there's not much you can do other than they cool down. And last night, that's what was so surprising to me. It was Boston knows how good he is. They know what to do. They've seen his act before, and nothing was going to work.
Yeah, the guy that comes to mind for me when I see him is, I guess, kind of a throwback, but it's Damon Stoudemire.
Very much. That's another application of, my gosh.
Because it's the weird angles, and it's throwing the ball up, and you think that it's not going to go in, and then somehow it does. But my mind always goes to how sustainable is that?
That's exactly it, AJ. And
like,
that's
is that
why
real?
These guys are all kind of afterthoughts that are brought up later because they didn't finish. I mean, the farthest we saw taken was Iverson, but even he didn't finish it. But the run is ridiculous, and I think sometimes for those guys to be as great as they are, they have to dominate the ball so much that it's hard to get the rest of your teammates to go with you.
Yeah.
You have to be ultimately hot and the rest of everybody else be tepid, or everybody being average, and everybody being average ain't enough.
I'll never forget that. Like you were talking about Kevin Johnson, and I've mentioned before I grew up a big Rockets fan, although my passion for them has flamed. But when they won their second title, they in the Western Conference Finals they beat the Spurs. It wasn't a great series. The finals was a lopsided series against the Magic.
Yeah.
The toughest series that the Rockets had that year was against the Suns, and they won that game they won it in 7. That's the Mario Elie kiss of death game. And I don't remember the exact amount of points that it was a 1-point win for the Rockets, but Kevin Johnson had almost 50 points in that game, and he was much scarier than Charles Barkley.
Right.
I mean, Barkley was obviously the much better player, but in that series, it was like it was just everything that he chucked up was going in, and it was like, how is this working? But that was the biggest scare the Rockets had in two years of playoffs.
And the outcome was a well-fought, never-to-be-forgotten series that ultimately they lost because it's hard for these little guys to do it 7 games.
Yeah. I don't know how – I've said all along – man, maybe I'm being proven wrong now. I've said all year long the Knicks are fake good.
Well, they're built to beat the Celtics. I'll give you that.
Well –
spread them and shoot with them.
You know what? If the Celtics make any shots last night,
right,
they run away from the Knicks. They just the Celtics are good enough that if they lose, it's generally because they beat themselves. The Magic had a recipe to limit how much Boston could shoot. The Knicks aren't doing that. The Celtics are just not making shots.
And they will. I mean, the numbers tell you that's the thing that kills you. I'll give all the credit to Don Harris. He said it a couple months back. Boston is everything that is right with the NBA and everything that's wrong with the NBA all rolled into one. I mean, when they're hot, when they're making shots, it is a beautiful thing that everybody should mimic. But when we saw what we saw last night, it harkens back to Houston, the Rockets game. It harkens back to analytics are also death if applied solely for analytics purposes.
45 missed three-point attempts. 4-5. That is an obnoxious number, a gross number.
It's everything that's also wrong with the league. I mean, my gosh, to stick with that, knowing full well it ain't gonna happen today. Go get a layup.
How weird is it to you watching this series? How often? I say this series. They've played one game. Last night I was like, this Boston Celtics team has so many good defenders, like a Drew Holiday, a Derek White. Al Horford is the primary defender on Jalen Brunson. And in almost every late game scenario, it was Al Horford on Jalen Brunson. Is that weird to you?
Well, I think you won't see that again. I think that was proven to be a mistake. I get the idea is you're not going, no matter the size of the player, you're not going to be able to keep up with him. But if you can just stay in front of him and defend him to where it makes it a more difficult bank shot or he has to kick it. I get the idea because anybody smaller than Horford, I guess Jaylen Brown, but you can't take Jaylen off the wing. You got to keep him defending on the edges. You are going to have to live with a difficult shot from Brunson, and last night they lived with it and got beat. I don't think they'll continue to do that. I think they'll switch a little bit more. But I would, if I'm Boston, I don't look at it. This is a defensive loss. This is an offensive loss. My defense wasn't bad.
No, I mean,
I gave him 45 rebound opportunities.
Yeah, you hold Jalen Brunson to 9 of 23. Jalen Brunson was great in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson did not have a great game.
I don't change what I do for Boston. We just missed a bunch of shots because that's the offense we run. Their defense was as effective as you'd expect given the number of times and opportunities that New York had.
Mikal Bridges on the offensive side was dreadful yesterday. Dreadful. But
timely shooting.
Force on defense. It felt like the only guy who was really strong offensively for the Knicks was Anunoby, like stronger than expectation, let's say. And everybody else was just kind of like, But every time the Celtics had a chance to pull away, and this is the other thing, I hate more than anything. You know how I feel about this volume 3-point shooting. I get it when you've got you use that 3-point shooting to get to a big lead. Why not then, now that you've got this lead, why not play safe mode and take 2 and let them get 3 and until they start to work their way back into it, instead of just keep chucking the lower percentage shots.
But there's
you're
right.
Play with the lead.
Great teams do that. Great teams have the ability to vary pace, to back off and run sets and maintain the same intensity. Good teams play great in rhythm. And once they're out of rhythm, they're not very good. That's why they're just good. So when you're coaching in a game like that and you're good because you're a transition team, you can't stop that. You know that there's going to be runs and you know you're going to miss shots. But if you're not a great team, there's not a plan B. You're plan A. And plan B is a set out of a timeout or a dead ball. That's my plan B. But I have an offense that got me here. And that's what the Celtics have. They have an offense. And they're normally a great team. They just didn't adjust yesterday. That's why good teams are just good teams. They're front runners. When they're in rhythm and they're hitting those shots, you can't stop it. You don't want to get off rhythm when you've got a lead, because that's the very reason you have a lead. And that's why teams shoot and miss 45 threes, because they're trying to get the reset button. They're trying to find that rhythm again. And last night was the epitome of a really good team not having a plan B.
The other thing I thought they missed last night was Porzingis, who I guess they kept saying illness. I don't know what was going on. Who knows with him ever.
I think that mattered. Just
he might
like
have
Garland,
bruised a toe or whatever, but he wasn't good when he was on the floor. But I do think there is some value to having him out there, just because
he's a threat.
He gives the Knicks a look that maybe they're not going to be great at defending.
You've got to close on him. You have to account for that 3-point shot. So he's a threat, and it did make a difference. Just like without Garland, it wasn't a huge difference, but when you look at the difference in the game, it would have been a difference, I do believe.
Well, and it also forced Horford to play way more minutes than I think they wanted him to, which meant because they had to keep him on, they couldn't go smaller and have more minutes for Peyton Pritchard, which I think he would have been valuable late game defensively in some
shooting.
spots.
My goodness, he's one of their better shooters. 6th man of the year who doesn't show up. There's a lot of reasons for that one. Of all the teams, Boston can look at themselves in the mirror and go, "This was my fault. This is me." I allowed them to hang around long enough, and I let one of the great young players in the game get hot. That's all on me. And if I just make my shots and play my game, I win. Denver and OKC, I think Denver is just running on all cylinders, and Oklahoma City is trying, got a little rust.
Well, let's talk about that game on the other side. Nuggets win game 1. We'll talk about that. Morning Huddle 94.1.
Dr. Jacob Torres is my doctor. I'm sitting here looking at the website, Institute for Functional Health. It's IFFhealth.com. And there's a number I want to read to you. 70% of chronic diseases can be managed or reversed through lifestyle changes, according to functional medicine principles. Institute for Functional Health, 70% of the things that most of us deal with on a regular basis can be taken care of, can be fixed by adjusting your lifestyle, which is quotations for lose some weight, man. If you lose some weight, your body functions better. And a lot of those things you have to deal with on the regular, whether it be medications you're taking or pain and suffering because of the medications you're not taking. can go away. Your life can get better, not only looking better, but living better if you lose some weight. And Dr. Torres has been on the front lines of weight loss for a long time. Long before there was GLP-1s, there were programs that Dr. Torres had in place that were just as effective. I am living proof. I've been with him for nearly 8 years, down 65 pounds. My history is well documented. I'm on a plan that I will never quit. Can you say that? Can you say that for the rest of my life, what I am doing now is going to keep me healthy? Well, if you can, I want you to meet Dr. Torres because his program works, and it has nothing to do with shots. It has nothing to do with anything but good old-fashioned medicine and some stick-to-itiveness. And together, combined, works. So if it's time, I want you to call Dr. Torres today. The number is 210-468-1891. He'll do everything he can to meet you, to get you to where you want to go. This will not be the easiest thing you've ever done. But if you want your life to live longer and you want it to be a healthier, happier life, you'll put in the work, and it'll be the best thing you've ever done for him yourself. Call him today. The number is 210-468-1891. His website is iffhealth.com. Go on by, change your life, and come on by and thank me later.
Time's running out to find the perfect Mother's Day gift, but it's okay because Macy's is here to help. Shop our annual Mother's Day sale and you'll find gifts that'll make Mom say, "That's exactly what I wanted." There are diamond necklaces and pendants 30 to 55% off. Handbags from Karl Lagerfeld and Calvin Klein 30% off. And designer fragrance gift sets boxed and ready to give. How easy is that? But don't wait any longer. Mother's Day is Sunday and the sale is happening now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Made in America. Highest quality. That's Kinetico Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Kinetico is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Kinetico water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Kinetico uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at KineticoSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
KineticoSA.com.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Tonight, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
You know the Rue Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Rue Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I'm just one of millions of members of Prize Picks that play daily fantasy sports every day, and things just keep getting better. How about 2,000x on your cash today? That's right, cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your best chance to add your favorite players from the court on Prize Picks lineup. And whether it's points, rebounds, assists, and whatever else, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000x your cash today. Turn up your playoff hot takes into tickets on basketball and championship winnings every day. And there's stuff going on all week. Every Tuesday, Prize Picks will discount several projections on the board. They take up to 15 to 25% off savings and fun. And then there's Big Flex Friday. Those picks that don't win, you get your net losses back in promo funds up to your limit as soon as the lineup settles. Hey, there's money back. That's why I love Prize Picks. 2,000 times your money and some free ones. Download Prize Picks. Use the code ALAMO for 50 free bucks. That's Prize Picks. Go run your game.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
What's actually still open? Because the one on I-10 is closed now, right?
Yeah, that was All-Stars, right?
Yeah, All-Stars.
You got the Sharkies over there, whatever they call that thing.
Sugars.
All right, it's got a big shark out there. Why don't you call it Sharkies?
Because they call it Sugars.
Okay. What the hell's the shark there for?
Fish market. I don't know. It's called Shark.
Beware the smell.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Is this the Walmart
Nakona's
version?
in them Lolos, girl. Yeah.
This is one of the greatest. This is in my records that if I was on a desert island.
Was this Chronic 2000?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm a OG Chronic guy.
Ah, okay.
But I mean, this was very good too. We waited long enough for it.
Yeah,
Right?
I think that's why it meant.
Yeah.
Kind of forced it on us, but
Well, I mean, it's like, dude, what are we gonna wait 20 years?
I know.
Give me a break. I still got love for the streets. You know that about me, Rob.
I can tell.
Too much changed. Still hitting the corners in them Lolos, girl. The Nuggies.
The Nuggies?
Pull off the victory.
Speaking of Snoop.
Yeah. I think, you know what?
Oh, yeah, I got to make a phone call.
Pardon me.
Yeah, before the break, we were talking about the Nuggets also losing 121-119. This was just the Jokic show. There's not really another way to put it, although a lot of the onus has to go on the Thunder for letting it happen because they did not trail in this game. The last time they had trailed was 13-12. And the Thunder were in charge the entirety of the game.
Yeah, but they were playing patty cake, man. It was one of those games. The thing that I will take away from last night was one of the early takeaways from Tim. When there were some early kind of, are you going to be what we think you're going to be? There were games early in Tim's career where you just kept waiting for something. Dude, will you turn it up? And, you know, some of it in the early years was he had to get the ball in the right place. He didn't have the ball in his hand, so there was some other fault. But last night, Shea, to be what we want him to be, he needed to be more. And it didn't mean more scoring. He just needed to be more in that offense. And it felt like Denver did a great job of just kind of knocking him out of the system. He played a good game. I'm not taking – but last night we needed Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter. We needed the guy to just say, I'm the best player on this court, or at least equal to that other dude. And if we go shot for shot, that's fine. And I don't think a player on Oklahoma City would have had a problem with that. And they didn't.
Yeah. And again, maybe Denver's I'm shortchanging Denver.
No, they played they played a really good game, but that's how Denver's going to have to win. That's the Denver formula. Jokic is going to have to be in control of every offensive set, whether it's a pass,
but
whether
you know
it's a
that.
shot. Yes.
And
So-
Chet Holmgren knows that. Like why? Like Dagnall knows that.
Yes,
Like,
that's why Joker's a 4-time MVP, because everybody knows it, yet we can't stop it. That's the secret. You know?
Yeah. When it is Denver is the easiest team to know in the league, like what you've got to prepare for.
Literally, I take one guy out of this and it's over.
Yes.
And I don't even have to take him all the way out. I just got to take him somewhat out, and it'll be over. But at a 40-point triple-double, dude, you're not going to beat him. You're going to lose every time.
You're right. And Shea played a great game himself.
Yeah, great, but I wanted superstar. I wanted Jokic performance. There comes a time when you see their superstar killing you where you go, get out of the way. I trust me more than you. And I trust you, but I trust me.
I also saw Joker care last night in a way I haven't seen him do very often. Like, it was a timeout when things were starting to get away from him. He's yelling at everybody. He's just like, suddenly he wasn't even thinking about his horses.
Dude, I noticed the same thing. And you wonder, I love Mike Malone. It's hard not to like him. But he is a personality, and he's a force. He's an old-school coach. It feels maybe like in his effort to protect Jokic, he kind of squelched that leadership because I'd never seen that from him.
No.
Never did we see Jokic like that. And maybe it's maturity, certainly, but he's also filling a void for a young coach. But this kind of Joker it better terrify the rest of the league.
Yeah.
If he's fully invested in every game, yikes.
Chris says Chet is trash. I don't know about that. I'll say Chet's a guy in his second year trying to guard one of the best players, if not the best player in the whole wide world.
I'll look back and I'll never forget the David Robinson-Hakeem matchup. Sometimes it just doesn't favor you, man. And this is and Joker saw it. They're going to have to send some help.
I look at it more in not as much like that Hakeem-David matchup, but more like Hakeem-Shaq in the finals, where who knows what Shaq was going to be one day, but at that time he just wasn't ready to go up against Hakeem. I don't know what I think Chet has I don't want to say an unlimited ceiling. Chet has a lot of things going for him that make me think if he can stay healthy, which I say about every Giant, he's got a game that is going to translate really well because he is an elite defender.
He's not that kind of defender. He is not a elbow in your back post-up defender. He relies on blocking shots, but not like that.
No.
But and what Joker is able to do with
and he's going to be giving up 60 pounds to guys like Joker.
It's just to take him to the rim. Just keep taking him to the rim. You're going to foul me eventually, or I'm going to get the shot up, one or the other. And he was a victim last night, and we won't see him alone on Joker again. He'll still guard him, but you could tell in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter, whenever Chet was in, if Chet was behind Joker, the moment he got him pinned, the ball went to Joker. The moment that he went below, even if he wasn't guarding him at the time, the moment that Chet was behind Joker, the Joker got the ball, and he became the pivot, and he dominated him in the paint. And it's one of those things that X's and O's got him last night. I'm not worried about Oklahoma City. I can tell you this, they're going to have a tougher road than Boston will. I can tell Denver has a formula, and they've got a belt. I don't think the Knicks have a formula, but they don't have the pedigree.
Yeah.
But I think that Boston can go, we just play our game, we win. Oklahoma City can look at themselves and say, we played our game. Our superstar didn't become a superstar, and that was the difference. This is a 6-7 game series. This is not going to be a walk. Not at all. I like Boston's prospects a lot more in their loss at home than I do about Denver. Now, Oklahoma City is a far better team than Denver. They are a better team. They're better coached. They've got more talent. They should win this. But Joker was the Joker last night, and that's enough.
And that is something. Again, when I see what Brunson did, I say, how repeatable is that? How long is that going to work?
And it never lasts.
But with Joker, I know he can do this every game. Like, I know what he is. And that's why I laugh when people say the big man doesn't matter in the NBA anymore. It's so silly to think that.
For a minute, they didn't. But they are back, no doubt. A guy that can do
We just went through a run where there weren't good big men.
Right.
That's all. Like,
for the longest time, if you were in junior high and high school, when you walked into the gym, all your guards go to the right, then all the big men go to the left. And the big men, you'll never hear a dribble on that side of the court. All they're going to do is catch it and post and mic and drill and all that. Now, everybody does every skill. There ain't no separating. You're dribbling through cones just like the guards are if you're a big. And there was about 5 years for those guards, those big men who were learning to be guards. There weren't any of them.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing the fruits of the work.
Chris said Joker bullied Chet all game. He did. But remember, we talked about that this year when Wemby was playing.
Yeah,
every time there was a good big, Wemby was getting worked.
Yes.
And there's two things to it. Inexperience is one, but physicality
Leverage.
and like just being used to playing with men who are.
There's no way that Victor Wembanyama will ever, even at the peak of his physical strength, keep Jokic out of the paint.
No.
It's a matter of leverage. He's too tall. He can't do it like that. You can't put a forearm in somebody's back and just hold it.
Yeah.
He's too big.
There's
too tall.
You have to. The only person I've ever seen who can be like is Yao, because Yao was that tall, but also Yao was also like a giant
redwood
He was
tree.
a freak show. Like there aren't humans built like him.
So no, and the thing is,
but Chet and Wemby are going to have that problem against guys that are thick, and Joker it happens to be very thick and very, very skilled.
and the good news is there's only one a Joker. Unfortunately, you're going to have to play him 7 times to get through it. But when you don't have Joker anymore, you can still be the super tall mobile Chet.
Yeah. I think I'm not throwing Chet out with the bathwater. I mean, to me, he is elite defensively. It's just what they're. You're not going to see that in this series because
He's going against a 4-time MVP. I mean, no matter how good you are, no matter how long you've been doing it, you're going to get beaten.
And the other thing is Oklahoma City, while it feels like they've got so much depth, the one spot where they aren't super deep is big, and it's Chet and Hartenstein, and those guys, they're just not going to stop Joker.
No,
Joker's going to get his. The Thunder have to find a way to get a little bit more. And quite frankly, last night, some of the guys who you expect to step up and be like the other guys, particularly on offense, Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams stunk last night. And,
but on the other side, Caruso was magnificent.
You're right. He was fantastic.
Magnificent last night. I'm not worried about Oklahoma City. I think that there's enough, but this is not going to be a 5-game gentleman's handshake sweep. This is going to be hard fought. And we talk about, can Jalen Brunson keep this up? And you also have to ask that about Joker, because to ask him to go out every night, and it's going to require a point, rebound, assist total in the 60s every night for Denver to win. There's just no way around it. And can he keep it up? Because now if I'm Oklahoma City, I'm pounding on him. I'm going to beat him senseless. I don't care if he takes 10 free throws. I'd rather him take 10 free throws and get beat up than
make 5 shots. I mean, they used up. Chet had 5 fouls on him last night. Hartenstein had 5. Like they were hammering him. They're going to.
And hope eventually it wears him out.
Even Dort was getting on to him, and Dort's like it's like 6'4", 6'5", like not a giant guy, very physical guy, but he was putting his body on Joker last night.
He's their best on-ball defender.
So I don't think I worry. So rank the worry for these teams: Oklahoma City, Boston, and Cleveland. After Game 1, all 3 lose a game.
Cleveland should be the most worried.
Okay,
Cleveland, because the pace was such, it outdid their size, and they're going to have to figure out how to stop the pace. And they've got,
and they're the one who really just got outplayed.
Yes, the Nembhard and Halliburton, 2 point guards on the court at the same time, mean they're fast-forwarding every possession. Cleveland's got work to do, and they're the one that should be the most concerned.
Well, we'll talk about that matchup coming up tonight. We also get Game 1 of the other Western Conference semis tonight. We'll talk that as well. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1. I got to tell you guys about Karbach Brewing. Oh, my sweet, sweet Karbach. Eric Warner came in, the head brewer at Karbach, and the brewmaster emeritus, and talked about how when they first left Houston, when they were first starting to spread their beer outside the city limits of Houston, the number one priority market was San Antonio. They said San Antonio was a great spot. It had a great need for that type of beer, and they said we wanted to put our footprint there. They've certainly done that. You can find Karbach all over our fair city, and not just the grocery stores and the liquor stores. It's in bars and restaurants everywhere, and there's a good variety for whatever flavor you're into. If you love the that light blonde style, that Kolsch style ale, that's what Love Street is. That's their best seller. You're going to find that almost everywhere, either on tap or in cans. You'll find the Hopadillo all over the place. That's their flagship IPA, very bitter, in-your-face hop profile. And then Crawford Bock, Ziegenbach, you can find those as well. Both great anytime drinking beers. Guys, there's something for everyone in their lineup. They're all over San Antonio. Make sure you check it out. When you're out and about, go ahead and ask your bartender, please make it a Carbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As far as any major incidents go, we are in good shape, but the traffic volume is definitely filling in. So rolling stop and go on 90 eastbound, 211 on over to Hunt Lane, now about a 25-minute commute. On 35 southbound, that's starting to slow down between FM 1518 on down to Tupperwine. It's about a 10-minute ride, 1604 eastbound Calabria on over to I-10. Now, we do have this stall up in Bernie on I-10 westbound Balcones Creek that is taking up a main lane, left lane blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket.com is the new home for all things home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started, all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or my website, alawyerforus.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147, or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the Cowboys have wrapped up their rookie mini camp. What did Shireen Williams see? We'll ask her at 5:15.
Plus, the NBA playoffs in full swing. A couple of game ones last night. There's action tonight. We'll get you ready.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Bam, 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 bam. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Little AC/DC for you on a Tuesday morning. I wish I could be a rock and roll music DJ.
You never were?
No.
Really?
There's not even. They don't exist anymore.
No, they don't.
It's
But
all
man, what a
computers.
cool job that would have been.
It was a good time.
It's all AI now.
So I've been told.
Yeah.
Like do the talk up, like you learn where you got to finish, like where your hit, where you got to hit it in every
hit the
song.
post. You gotta hit
the
the
post.
post.
That's right, baby. That's radio talk.
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to do that.
No, I don't get to talk enough.
I don't mind. I just play a song and then I'd sing along a little bit and I'd chill out.
I will tell you, for most of us,
people would be so mad. Like real rock and roll people would be so mad at
because
me.
you wouldn't shut up.
I
Because most
know.
of us are doing this kind of radio because we won't shut up.
Yeah, that's true. That's the problem for me. I just
Well,
blah, blah, blah,
that's why
blah, blah, blah.
What we do, we just try to avoid the blahs.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the games coming up tonight, and we'll start with Game 2. We just talked about the Cavs-Pacers Game 1 and how the Cavs, that was the one of the 3 games so far that wasn't really competitive in these conference semifinals. The Pacers just put it on them. Now, I do expect the Cavs bounce back tonight. Like the Cavs aren't going to lose both their home games. But what did the Pacers do that is repeatable against Cleveland?
Speed. They got down court. They are the fastest transition team left in the game, probably the fastest during the season. Carlisle teams execute fast break basketball. That's what they've always done. They're active, they move, they fill lanes, and they get back. They cherry pick. They're experts at this. They play a 94-foot game. Cleveland plays a 70-foot game. And Cleveland is going to have to control pace. If they can't control it, they're going to lose. They're going to get outrun because you can't just stop one dude with the Pacers. Now, it's not a 5-dude with the ball offense. It's 2 point guards. When Nembhard and Halliburton are on the court at the same time, they are both lead guards, and both of them are capable of 94 feet of basketball, rim to rim. They'll get you. And when you've got them both clicking and you're missing shots, Cleveland doesn't have the speed. They're a big team. They're big dudes. It's getting the half court and challenge you and put you in foul trouble and slow the possessions down and dominate and get 2 possessions every time we go down on that side of the court. That's their game, and they've been really good at it, and they got whiplash on the opening night.
I thought the best player for Cleveland in Game 1, I mean, Donovan Mitchell scored the most points, but I thought Evan Mobley was the best player on the floor for them.
And when they need more. They need 10% more from Mobley because it's his offense that will help this. The offense that he can provide both in the paint, picking up fouls and stretching and giving some room for Jared Allen down there, that's going to be the difference.
I think the thing that Cleveland's going to – they can probably look at and go, it's going to be okay, is that Cleveland can probably say, first of all, we're not likely to shoot 23% from 3 again. We're not going to go 9 of 38 from 3 every game. And they can also say, Indiana's not going to shoot 53% from 3. They're not going to go 19 of 36 again.
Like those threes aren't what's killing you. It's the layups that they got that killed them. I mean, when you see T.J. McConnell getting a backdoor layup 3 times, that's what killed him. I expect them. Indiana's a good team. I can't give them stuff. I can't allow them to get the easy bunnies. Once they get that makes it that much more difficult. Those are supposed to be shot rebound stuff, not easy layups. And that's about getting back, playing defense, and understanding and not get caught ball watching, which they did.
Yeah, I was surprised too, because I looked back at the box score, and the Cavs didn't really turn the ball over, and they almost never had live ball turnovers, where it was transition going the other way.
You can live with dead ball.
Yeah, but I mean, so they had Evan Mobley had a couple of those, but rarely was it the guards turning the ball over and then the play going back the other way. And in my mind, I'm like, man, if they just in my mind going into the series, if they don't let them do that, if they don't let Indiana run on them, well, they're in good shape.
Yes,
but
that's the answer. But you got to have to do it.
Even keeping them out of transition, it didn't really matter.
The thing is, you got to do it 4 times. I mean, it's one time, and then 2 times, then 3 times, and 4 times. And Indiana's already proven that they're ahead in the game. Now Cleveland's going to have to react to something. Indiana has full hand now.
We have not seen Darius Garland since April 23rd. You got a hurt toe, bro. What are we doing?
Well, what'd they say in pregame? If this was regular season, he'd be IR for the next 10 days.
Okay. I mean, even going back to the 23rd?
Well, the thing is, they've allowed him to play and practice and all this. If this was regular season, he would be in a boot, not practicing, and we would come talk to you in 7 days. But they can't do that right now.
Can't he just do like Ronnie Lott and cut his toe off and
there is the fear
get back out there?
That when you're dealing
That's what
with
I
this kind of
would've done.
injury, that
I'm a
you
man.
you get that long-term turf toe issue, and we had Garrett on last week. It is the most painful of all the injuries to deal with because not only does it hurt all the time, you really can't deaden it because
Right.
that's your big toe. That's balance, so it's a tough one to deal with.
And you're gonna be like Dion.
Well, that's the nightmare, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's gross.
God, four-toed Dion.
I think he only has 3.
And now he's down to 3.
Yeah, I think
He
only
can
has
wear high
3,
heels.
yeah.
It doesn't even matter. It's right in there.
Somebody, I saw a meme where it was like, what day is Shador going to be drafted on? And it showed Dion's foot with his 3 toes sticking up. Oh.
That little piggy already went to market. It's already gone.
Yep. Yeah, Darius Garland needs to just chop it off and get back out there, Bubba. I mean, they certainly do miss that offense.
Who do you think missed their player more, Cleveland with Garland or Boston with Porzingis?
Oh.
And Porzingis was there, but it was a non-entity.
Yeah. It's hard to not say. Yeah, I think I will say Garland just because, Porzingis, he was out there early on and he wasn't very good. I thought that he was going to play a bigger role. And, again, I don't know what kind of illness it was. Like, I can't imagine how sick I'd have to be to not be out there after the halftime. It's got to be – like, I'd have to be violently puking everywhere. But, again, I don't know. Something's always wrong with Porzingis.
That's the thing. I'm not going to judge, but I'll say I'm not surprised that he didn't come back.
But, yeah, I think Darius Garland, he's there – what he does is he makes it a lot more difficult to help on Donovan Mitchell because you can't just leave him running around. And I think that they miss that. Like you said, Evan Mobley can stretch, but the guys who are going to come help on Mitchell aren't as nervous about letting Mobley get out there than they are letting Garland get the ball in his hands. So I think that's a big deal. And they're calling him a game-time decision. We'll see.
I think I'd wait till the next game. Of all the games that we watched, I do think that one was the best played. I think both teams –
The Cavs-Pacer?
I do. I think both teams executed offensively. Now, the execution is different from shot making.
Sure.
But I'll say that those guys on both sides were in the places they were supposed to be just about every time. It was a very well-executed game. The Cleveland just didn't shoot very well. But as far as execution, both those teams are running at 99%. They're really playing well.
OKC Denver was a tough watch because it was a foul fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Like I mean, as I was watching, I was like, God, Cleveland. But you're right. It was just they were getting good looks.
Yeah.
They just weren't making anything. But you could say the same thing about Boston last night. Boston had a lot of just wide open looks. Jaylen Brown, he should give back his game check.
And Tatum had the shot to win it. I mean, it was there. It was open. It's a makeable shot he'd made during the game. I mean, it was a long one, but it certainly is as good a shot as you could have hoped for.
Claymore says DeAndre Hunter has to play better. I think in my mind, DeAndre Hunter should probably just play less and not play because as they've tried to transition more to Ty Jerome being sort of their guy off the bench that they call to for offense. DeAndre Hunter should, in my mind, take more of a defense first role and just.
I think both of us have talked about how much we appreciate Hunter, but DeAndre Hunter is a thermostat or a thermometer. He's going to play as well as everybody else around him because of things he does. He does those little things that don't add up in the score. But I hate it when people are defined like that. But he does do that. He's the help guy. He's the guy that gets on the floor. He's the guy that tips the rebound out. He's the second jump rebound dude. I don't think he played poorly. I just don't think he's going to reflect what the other dudes around him are doing.
The other thing is that the thing that they really because of missing Garland, they're playing that Sam Merrill so many minutes. That guy sucks.
Yeah, he is he's the end of their bench. He is the end of their playable players.
He is playing way more than I would want him to play. And that, again, what can you do? You got injuries, but most of this season, when it's been Mobley, Allen, Mitchell, Strus, and Garland, it's like, dude, that is a tough team to deal with. For whatever reason, that Sam Merrill being out there with those other four guys just makes me go, oh.
Well, he's on one. Well, it's two-dimensional. He plays pretty good on ball
about
defense,
him,
but he can get out quick. He's a jump shooter. He's not a mid-range shooter. He's not going to blow by you. He's a good help defender, but he's just an average NBA guy. Darius Garland is a difference maker, and he was missed.
All right. The other game tonight, I guess we don't really have – I guess we got time to at least start getting into it. The Timberwolves and the Warriors, game one. We're going to see a lot of highlights from last year's playoff series. The question is, what should we expect? Is this the last ride for the Warriors, or is this the Timberwolves saying again, hey, man, we're better than you guys. We're younger. We're hungrier. And now I will say this. One big difference between this year and last year is Karl Anthony Towns not being around.
That makes a difference. I like in this series when you see when you go to Cape Canaveral and it's 0- 12 hours and you see the rocket on the pad and there's that weird steam coming out of the bottom, like it's warming up and getting ready. I feel like Anthony Edwards is that rocket and there's some steam getting ready to come out. I get the sense that Anthony Edwards is about to go bananas. I think that we're going to see Anthony Edwards do some extraordinary stuff over the next couple of days. I think he's going to explode. What I saw, what he was doing against L.A., elevating and not just finishing, but finishing with dog mentality. He's going to hang on the rim and he's going to scream. I get the sense that this whole season for Anthony Edwards was prelude to this. It took all summer with the basketball for him to convince himself that, yes, I am that great. And then he had to recover all year long. What he did in that last game against the Lakers, that's the Anthony Edwards that is frightening. It looks like he could go off starting tonight.
Yeah. He has been good against Golden State. I think he's going to have to be great here.
Yeah, he's going to have – who's going to defend him? Who are you going to put on him?
That's a good question.
And Draymond's not going to protect the paint.
It's not Draymond.
Yeah, and you're not going to put him out there, so you're going to have to put a wing on him who he's going to live in the paint and the dunks and the and ones and all of that. Look out, man.
Pajimski maybe?
I don't know what you're going to do, quite frankly. I mean, it's going to take defense by team, and they're going to – I mean, it's Steve Kerr. They're going to find a way. But man on man, there ain't nobody on the Golden State team that can keep up with this.
Yeah, it's been a good series this year. They are, I believe they split this. No, I think the Warriors are up 3-1 in the season series this year, but they've been competitive games. The last one back in January, 116-115 Golden State win. But that game,
that's pre-Butler.
Yeah, that game, you saw Anthony Edwards go 7 of 19. The game before that, he went 6 of 20. Anthony Edwards has not played his best games against these Golden State Warriors.
He's a different cat. Have you seen the promos in the commercial breaks where they're talking about the Golden State team, and there's one they cut to Draymond sitting in a chair in the gym talking about, I haven't seen anybody excited to play us. And he's right, man. The way that this team has this just old pro savvy, like, bring it on, brother. We're not going to talk about it. Let's just do this. Yep. Man, they're frightening. I would not want to go up against Golden State right now.
No. They and again, like you mentioned, the Butler mentality of it. Whew. It's funny. It's going to be interesting to see Anthony Edwards and Jimmy Butler, and maybe Jimmy Butler gets some time on Anthony Edwards. Like, I wouldn't be shocked.
I'd rotate a lot of dudes. You just can't afford for him to have a 40-point night. That's the one thing I go into tonight. If there's one thing we have to do, and I'll count fouls, I'll give fouls, I can't let him go get 40, because if he does, we're climbing up a hill that we can't maintain.
Yeah, I'm. This is a. It's either passing of the torch or it's more of the same. Because if Minnesota gets there again, if they get to the Western Conference Finals for the second straight year, I mean, we got to start taking this real seriously. Now, it's funny because even last series we were like, maybe Anthony Edwards is worn out. Maybe he's played too much basketball, but he's starting to find it again.
At least the
starting
last
to find
two
that
games.
second breath and look like what he was
when he
last year in the
elevated
playoffs.
down the paint and two-handed it over Reeves. Yeah, that was a rebirth, man.
And obviously, I mean, Butler is clearly capable of defending Anthony Edwards. Just a matter of how much do you want him to exert on that end of the floor.
Right.
All right. Man, halfway there on a Tuesday. We're back. We're going to give away some Brahma's Defenders tickets as well coming up next hour. Morning Huddle 94.1.
KTFM Floresville, your home for the Super Bowl. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Right now, the Home Depot has spring deals under $20. So no matter what you're working on, the deals are blooming at the Home Depot with savings on plants, flowers, soil, and more. Then light up your outdoor space with Hampton-based string lights. Was $34.97, now only $19.99. And get the grill going with 2 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal. Was $19.98, now only $17.88. Don't miss spring deals under $20 now through May 7th at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, valid on select items only.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As far as any major incidents go, we are in good shape, but the traffic volume is definitely filling in. So rolling stop and go on 90 eastbound, 211 on over to Hunt Lane, now about a 25-minute commute. On 35 southbound, that's starting to slow down between FM 1518 on down to Tupperwine. It's about a 10-minute ride, 1604 eastbound Calabria on over to I-10. Now, we do have this stall up in Bernie on I-10 westbound Balcones Creek that is taking up a main lane, left lane blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continued last night. Both road teams winning in thrilling fashion. The New York Knicks 108-105 over the Boston Celtics. Jalen Brunson had 29 points in the overtime win. The Denver Nuggets took down the Oklahoma City Thunders on the road 121-119. Aaron Gordon hit a three with 3 seconds to go to take the victory. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
8:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob rocking it out on a Tuesday.
It's about to get so much better. Our show's about to improve as the thermometer goes down.
My
the quality of our show.
I'll tell you what, my mood improves with that, doesn't it?
AC, I think, is on.
Yeah, a little spunky there on the intro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Starting to feel a little better.
About to get a can of cat food.
Feel a little better.
It's our new owners.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Chris says he wants to see the Warriors run it up one more time. Both my teams are out. I want to see Steph get one more just to put him past LeBron.
What a valid point. Did you have any sentimentality about this?
I'm an unabashed Steph Curry fan. It pissed, like when I started to disavow myself from my Rockets fandom. The team that I mean it was easy because the Warriors were really good, but they were also really fun to watch. The pre-Kevin Durant Warriors are probably my favorite basketball team I've ever seen. Like, just to watch them move the ball, it was just beautiful basketball, especially in contrast to what was going on in Houston with James Harden playing nothing but ISO ball and making me want to pull my eyeballs out.
Valid point. But I think for Spurs fan, I can't fall in love with that Golden State team that you just talked about, which is probably one of the top 5 teams of ever.
Yeah.
Because it came at the expense of the Spurs. Because of Zaza and the ankle. That's when it began. And it was at the expense of not only the Spurs, but it was the beginning of Kawhi's exit. It all rolled into one play.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, and I'll say it again. The Spurs were going to win a championship that year. They were. They were going to beat Golden State, and they were going to win again. Everybody around knew it. We were playing that well, but one well-placed foot. So the outcome of that was
I'm not as sure on that as you are.
Let me have that. And
Okay.
I think a lot of Spurs, let's just let me have that because it felt like it. We'd seen it before, and in hindsight, that was the very end. So when I look back at that greatness from that team, and they were so good, same thing happened to me and the Lakers. I despised Golden State so much that for the first couple of years of Steph's greatness, I couldn't get past my hatred. I didn't appreciate what it was. So now, as his career winds down, and I don't hold that same ill will, I'm reveling in the way he's played over the last couple of years because I am such a fan, and I'm luckily have adopted this fandom while he's still great. Whereas Kobe, I let my distaste and hatred of him pickle everything till after he was dead. I mean, literally, I couldn't deal with him. So I have a little bit of that. I want to see Golden State like him just because I'm happy that I appreciate Steph for what he is and what is capable and what he has done.
What an unbelievable player. And I get why there's people who think he's obnoxious, like chewing on the mouth guard and bringing his kids to the press conference.
I mean, he's a good dad and has weird dental habits. Yeah,
that's the worst thing about him. He's just a likable character to me.
Never any trouble. Never.
Well, but neither is LeBron, and everybody thinks he's the worst person. He's the least likable character,
but I always
according
say,
to most people.
I mean, never a whiff.
But no one tries to compare Steph Curry to Michael Jordan, which is why he's not as hated. I don't think people hate LeBron. They hate that the world has tried to compare him to Michael Jordan, and people are very defensive of Michael Jordan. But Steph never has gotten those comparisons. In fact, what's wild about Steph Curry is, historically, he's probably underrated.
Oh, he is. You're right.
Like, why don't we say, like,
why isn't he being compared to Michael?
Yeah, yeah.
Why isn't he in the same conversation with Magic? And I do think that when he's done, he will be.
You know why he's not? Because
he can shoot like
because
nobody
you
who's
look
ever
at
walked
him
the
and you
planet.
go, that's just like a normal dude playing basketball. When
you see him shoot.
I know, but when you see LeBron and you see,
he's not
you see these
carved.
guys who are like, Magic is a great example. Like guys, that's not what a normal person looks like. Then it's like, wow, these are superheroes. It's almost like when you say, like, who's your favorite superhero, and you say, the Punisher. Well, he's just a regular man who's angry. Like he doesn't have any powers. Like you want a guy who's like got powers. You want a guy who's So it is kind of like Steph Curry he's Batman. He doesn't really have superpowers. He's just
he's the greatest shooter to ever set foot on this planet.
Oh, not even close.
I mean, it's just after that you go, well, yeah, but he's the greatest shooter that could ever set foot, and everything is predicated off that. And you want to go, yeah, everything is predicated off the fact you have to pick him up 40 feet away from the basket, or you're going to be in trouble.
And that's why it was so problematic, the early Warriors, because Klay Thompson is probably the second best shooter that's ever walked the planet.
Well, I will say yes, and in a very different way. He might be the best shooter, catch and shoot to ever set foot.
If you say who would you least want to have standing by himself with no one within 7-8 feet of him out on the wing, it's Klay. Like who
more than Steph? Yes, a catch and shoot dude. There's nobody ever. I mean, to have them together, I agree.
Steph's going to create his own in a way that Klay never could. But yeah, they were just a problem. They were just a problem,
and that's why as they come into this series, it's hard. I'm not rooting for them, but I'm certainly not rooting against them.
I think I'm rooting for them, just because. And I don't know. Again, I've made it pretty clear. I think Oklahoma City's winning the West. I think it would take a miracle for them not to win the West.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't win it, I think I'd want to see Golden State win it. Just because it'd be
fun.
It would be intriguing to see Golden State. I don't know that they could beat the Celtics or the Cavs, but it would make for a fun matchup.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
It'd make for an interesting finals, which I don't know, quite frankly, if it were Minnesota against Boston.
No,
I don't know how much interest I've got.
I mean, we'd watch it, but it wouldn't be one of those things you woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning going, I got 12 hours.
I can't wait.
Right, it wouldn't be that.
Yeah, which is what I'm looking forward to. I still think it's going to be Thunder Cavs, but even Thunder Celtics, I feel like I'd have that same vibe. I don't think the Timberwolves can do that for me.
No, they're not. I mean, there is Anthony Edwards. There'll be plenty of highlights, but I will say that. On the heels of what yesterday we were talking about, how fantastic NHL is right now. That playoff hockey is, unmatched on a regular basis. It's always the best playoffs, whether you're watching them or not. Last night in the NBA had some NHL to it. Last night was a blood and guts, every game battled tough. I mean, there was not a game that you weren't interested in, at least in the last 3 minutes, and we're only getting better. Last night was a true NBA playoff night.
Yep.
Everybody played well. There wasn't a team that laid an egg and just sent it home. They made shots. Every team executed. We're really getting it to the point where it's the best on best.
Well, I told you this during one of the breaks. Until about 3 minutes left, I didn't think the Thunder I wasn't even thinking about the game like they could possibly lose it, and then they lost it. If you watch the first 3 quarters of the Knicks-Celtics game, you would have never thought the Celtics were in danger of losing that game. I mean, I talked about yesterday the playoff atmosphere in hockey, especially in like these Game 7s. We're seeing some big comebacks, and it's the never say die mentality of the playoffs, which is that's what makes it great.
Say it, but it's kind of nice when LeBron isn't in it.
Yeah,
there's just nothing imminent. I love the fact that we're talking about nothing but young stars.
We just talked about Steph.
Well, I mean, that's the outlier, but there's only that one. I mean, everybody else, we got the maintenance of a championship in Boston. We got the oncoming plans for Cleveland. You got Indiana with the coach and a plan. And everybody's got a method, and every one of these teams legitimately at their best could win it. I mean, we know who the 2 best or the 3 best are, but we also know every one of these teams fully capable.
Rudy says LeBron brings the Michael Jordan comparisons to himself.
He did.
I don't know that that's true. Have you ever heard LeBron say, "I'm doing things that Michael's never done"? Like, no, that's what fans say is like, "Oh, Michael did this. Has LeBron done that?" Like, I don't think. I mean, LeBron wants to be known as a legend. He wants his legacy to be in that conversation.
He wants to be known as better than Michael. If he didn't, he wouldn't still be playing.
I think he wants to be known as an equal, certainly.
I think I don't.
But who else would we like bash for aspiring to be the greatest of all time?
No, that's just it. And it's been the unabashed, I want to be the greatest player of all time. That I don't think he ever picked out Michael. I don't think he ever picked out Magic or, Kareem or anybody. But I think what wore on us was there was this unquestioned chase from the get-go. And, we crowned him. We told everybody that he better be. So what makes us mad at him is the very reason we loved him.
Yeah,
because
we
he's
made
imminent.
this.
Yes, so I'm not mad at him, but I'm not going to take away from the fact that he in himself, he's chased Michael. That has been – he wants it. He wants somebody of prominence to say you're better than Michael.
I will say this. It is. I get why it's easy to dislike LeBron. I don't think anybody can look themselves in the mirror and say if LeBron went to their team that they would be upset about it.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Well, maybe now you can say he's like, well, at an age where it doesn't help. But like, if prime LeBron had chosen your team, you would have been a LeBron fan. Yes. Because all LeBron does is like make his teammates better. Like he doesn't get in trouble. He's like generally seems like a good dude.
Yeah. And as the years have gone, and as he is, ascended to the greatness that he has, I can see why players are a little tired of him. I mean, we can't all live like you, LeBron. I'm sorry, we can't do this.
It's funny, like it was the Michael Jordan comps early on, and then when it was like, oh, LeBron, look at he can't win, and then he goes to Miami, and literally took less money to go win, and people knocked him for it.
He was taking his talents.
Yeah,
that's how he did it, not what he did.
And us as a society, we're always like, all these athletes care about his money. They don't value winning. And then a guy gives up money to go have a better chance to win, and we're like, oh, he's ring chasing. It's like we can't be satisfied. That's
he
the
gave
problem.
up money, and he admitted that he wasn't Michael in the get-go. Like, I can't do it alone, so I'm going to go get Dwayne and Chris Bosh. And
Michael didn't play at a time where that was even feasible.
Well, the comparisons are whether they're right or wrong.
It's never going to be
for
fair.
those of us that were Michael fans. Everything he did was kind of like, come on, little brother. I mean, come on, man. You're just not going to do it. I don't care how hard you try. It's just never going to happen.
Well, but it is kind of nice to not have that guy that, I don't know, at least for me, because as a I'm not like a LeBron lover, but I'm not a LeBron hater either. I just kind of appreciate what he is. Like I've also never tried to say he's going to be the greatest player of all time. Like I just appreciate the fact that but the problem is now, in an attempt to like hammer him down, people are like, he's like the 6th or 7th best player of all time.
Well, that's stupid too.
Right. Like, so it's one thing to say, well, he's not Michael Jordan. It's another to say, like, yeah, he's probably like
right behind Karl Malone,
behind Larry Bird, and it's like, stop it. What are we doing?
And the idea of the hatred helping to elevate his game, I do think mattered. I do think that he thrived on.
I think so too.
Doing it differently, and to revel in my hatred, it makes me even madder. So I know this, that when he is finally gone, that there will be there's going to be a void the likes of which we're not going to know why it feels different, but it's just going to feel very, very different.
And the frustrations of LeBron getting promoted as being this. While that's frustrating, and people will say, oh, it's frustrating, a lot of people also, especially here, like, don't you wish people talked about Tim as great as he actually was? Like, Tim doesn't get nearly enough credit for being as great as he was. Don't you wish that people nationally gave him more love than he's gotten?
But I would honestly, I would feel very bad for Tim if this wasn't exactly what Tim wanted. I mean, Tim
Right.
didn't want it, and if he did, and he
But you,
actively
as a
chased
Spurs
it-
fan, don't you wish
Oh,
more
we
people
always
would
wanted to
talk about
promote
Tim
him.
as like
Dude,
one of the best ever?
Why isn't he on a shoe game, and why isn't he selling
Right.
cars, and why isn't he drinking Gatorade? And the fact of the matter is, he didn't want to. So
Right.
once we realized about 4 years into this that he doesn't give a damn about any of this, then it got a lot easier to be passed over because we knew, just like him, yeah, you'll talk about other folks, but we all know he's the best.
Because me as a Rockets fan, I grew up like I didn't think Olajuwon got enough credit.
He didn't because he didn't want it.
And then like people were talking about Patrick Ewing being better than Olajuwon, and but I think like history has been kinder to Hakeem than some other players, and now like people look back at that era and go, yeah, Hakeem is one of, if not the best big man of that era. Him, Shaq. I guess it depends on your flavor.
Yeah,
but
one of the top 10 to ever do it.
People didn't like at the time. It didn't. Nobody was giving him that
it was
love.
brief, and then those years with Toronto where he was hurt and he was dealing with a bunch of stuff. It wasn't.
But that's like
best
holding
man.
MJ Wizards against him.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
And he just didn't. He wasn't great long enough for us to keep that esteem. So it felt like he kind of faded into the distance. Where when you look at those 4 years of true Hakeem greatness, and there wasn't anybody ever played any better than he did.
Mark says something that I think there's some real credit to. He says, not my top 5 in the NBA, but the fact that he's still doing it the way he is at 40 years old.
Who, LeBron?
Yeah, says something to what he is as an athlete because.
Yeah, but he's the top 5. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean
we can argue all day long, and I get you're throwing respect his way, but
that is one of the who else at his age
no one's ever done.
Is
Kareem
still
made it to 40, but
playing
it was
at that level.
Well, Kareem was making skyhooks at 40 and standing still and blocking shots in a defense where you didn't have to bend your knees.
It's Tom Brady and
Tom Brady,
LeBron,
and Tom
and
Brady,
Nolan Ryan, I guess.
Well, Ryan and LeBron are more apt to be compared because Brady, by the end of his career, the last 4 years, if you breathed hard, he was down. He got the exceptionalism calls that nobody else was getting. LeBron's never gotten that, and he has.
Yeah, he is not as protected.
LeBron and I agree are the two dudes that physically continued to dominate. Physically at 42, he's beating you with his body like he was 32 or 22. And Nolan Ryan was the same way. At 40, Nolan Ryan was still beating you like he was 20. And that's unprecedented. Those are the two things that I think separate as far as longevity, those two from everybody else.
Early in the show, we talked a lot about Pop in his press conference yesterday. I want to play some sound from that on the other side. We'll hear from Pop. We'll hear from Mitch. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You go through your life and things slow you down, painful things that just keep you from doing stuff that so many of us, we're tough. We just gut it out. And if it's too painful to do, I just won't do that today. Well, if there's something so painful that you are being kept out of life, get it fixed. And there's folks out there that are out there to do just that. It's Arasti. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio with the training and the expertise to get you out of pain remarkably fast in really unique ways because Arasti does things a little bit different. Their attitude is not about medications to dull or hide the pain. It's not about surgery to prolong and some kind of long-term rehab program. What Arasti is it's a non-invasive style of treatment. Non-invasive, that means they're not going to cut you, and they're not going to worry about prescribing something to hide or dull the pain. It's your body fixing itself. So if you're dealing with soft tissue injuries, sprains or strains, maybe you got one of those frozen shoulders or hips that won't move the right way, or maybe lower back injuries or strain or a sprain over a weekend honey-do list. If you're dealing with that, you can get it fixed and fixed fast. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio. They get to work and get it done. For me, I got my back fixed in under 4 visits and have been a lifetime customer and patient from then on. So if you're dealing with something today, can you imagine being back in the game by the weekend? It's possible if you make the call today. The number's 1-800-404-6050. 1-800-404-6050. The website, it's Arasti.com, and I do recommend going there first because if you're looking for a specific provider where they might be, they've got a map and they're adding new ones all the time. Listen close. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. It's their fix. It's called Arasti. Call them today. Let them take care of you. And when they do, come on by and you can thank me later.
Let's Rodeo San Antonio Brahmas style. The herd you love returns to the Alamo Dome for their Let's Rodeo theme game. Join us Friday, May 9th at 7 p.m. when your San Antonio Brahmas battle the DC Defenders. Dust off your boots and grab your cowboy hat to celebrate with rodeo-inspired fun for the whole family. Enjoy a pregame happy hour in the H-E-B Plaza with $3 frozen margaritas and beer. Get your tickets today at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
Hi, My name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at Hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED. But Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/radio. That's Hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the Cowboys have wrapped up their rookie mini camp. What did Shireen Williams see? We'll ask her at 5:15.
Plus, the NBA playoffs in full swing. A couple of game ones last night. There's action tonight. We'll get you ready.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Yeah, back and forth on the Brigade Bar is interesting about.
I know, right? Yeah.
I have never seen anyone as good at what they do and is hated for it as LeBron. But I mean,
well, Kobe.
Yeah, but Kobe was also an accused and maybe somewhat proven
also,
rapist.
Kobe wanted to be hated.
Yes.
Kobe, and reveled in being despised. LeBron wants to be loved. LeBron wants everybody
I think you're
to
right.
look at him and love him.
I think you're right. Now, I don't know about I'm going to disagree with SR talking about Balco and its PEDs. I think LeBron is too sensitive about his long-term legacy to take that chance. Whereas, like guys like Barry Bonds, the reason why Barry Bonds, I believe, went the PED route is he saw people that he was way better than getting more credit than him, and he hated that. Like, Barry Bonds was the best player in baseball without PEDs, and no one talked about him because they were talking about Sammy Sosa, who was generally kind of a bummy baseball player, and then he got on PEDs and became this big star. And Mark McGwire, who generally, I won't say bummy, but he wasn't a great baseball. He was a great home run hitter, but he wasn't a great baseball player. Barry Bonds was like, I'm so much better than these guys. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Watch what happens when I do the stuff you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron would ever risk that because LeBron is like, nobody questions
I'm not
where
accusing
LeBron is.
anybody of doing anything, but I will say this. For LeBron to be able to do what he has done, I'm not saying he's done anything illegal, but I do know that science has changed over the years, and I do know there's some things out there that most people agree are probably not bad for you, HGH being one of them. I just can't imagine a man of his stature over these many 40s years hasn't used modern science, and I'm not saying it's cheating or PEDs to do what he's doing. I think if it was me, I'd be doing this. I'm not going to cheat, but I'm going to use everything that is as good for my body as possible to last this long. And the rumors
But
of
do we
him
not think about that for Jordan and Tim Duncan and every other great player?
I assume, but LeBron's
Tim probably just
different.
used reefer.
Yeah, LeBron, yeah. But LeBron always bragged about, not always, but they talk about he spends $1 million a year to keep his body in shape from his trainers and all that. And I believe that there's some substances out there that are helpful that aren't necessarily agreed upon that might be in play here. I'm not accusing anybody of anything because I know I'd do the same. I just know modern science allows us to do some stuff that even 20 years ago we wouldn't have dreamed of.
All right, I wanted to move on to Gregg Popovich and his press conference from yesterday. And this was kind of the opening for Pop coming out of the gate.
There's a lot of thank yous after 25 or 30 years. I can never express the gratitude that I have for so many people caring about our organization and sending me thoughts, prayers, that sort of thing since I had this stroke. Things are getting better by the day, but it's not good enough for what we plan ahead. And so it's time to make this change. I want to thank all of you in here, former players, coaches, friends, people from the ticket office, or people who put on a show during timeouts. We all have a part in this. It's not just the players and the coaches. Everybody has been dedicated to do their part to make a successful, thriving organization. And that starts at the top with the whole family. And we will continue to do our best to do this with class. That's one of the reasons why Mitch Johnson will be taking over, because we have total faith in him to continue what's been started a long time ago.
Now, Rob, I know you're an emotional guy. Do you get emotional hearing Pop like that?
Yeah.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough seeing him up there, and you know, you've worked with him and worked around here for so long that it's probably much different for you, but just seeing him from afar and appreciating like what he is, it's like, oh man, that is it's a lot to see. You know what I mean?
I think I saw Don Harris's post, his extra point last night, and he called it beautiful. It wasn't sad, but beautiful. It was sad. That yesterday was sad.
Yeah.
It was hard. It wasn't a funeral, but it was hard. That was hard to watch. It was hard to drink in the fullness of the effect of the stroke. We saw it yesterday. We saw a vibrant, virile, active man who was shaking and short-winded and weak-breathed. It was hard. And now it makes all the discussion about should he or could he. My gosh, no. There was never, ever any. And as much as you lie to yourself or you lie to him, my goodness. And he's come a long way. This is the healthiest Pop's been since the stroke. He's got a big fight. And there's so much to get done that this needed to change. But I will fall back on. He ain't going anywhere. He's just moving offices, and he is El Jefe, and that shadow will maintain. But yesterday was a beautiful, difficult thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's him talking about Mitch Johnson.
One of the reasons that I'm doing this now is that we have to have someone in charge who's fully capable of giving their very best, because that's what this group deserves and demands. And we have that man here in San Antonio. Mitch has been in the G League for a few years, behind the bench a few years, on the bench a few years, and he took over this year and did a fantastic job. With circumstances that were very difficult. And we saw him in action, and he was brilliant. The players respect him.
Brilliant.
We'll hold them accountable, and I couldn't be more thrilled for him and his family and friends.
Yeah, I don't know about brilliant.
This is going to be so hard. And we want him to succeed. And the awesome responsibility that was transferred yesterday, and it's hard to fathom that this is billions of dollars and decades of plans. And we're talking about what hinges on Mitch Johnson's performance is not just the growth of the biggest, one of the top 5 biggest well-known athletes in the world, and Wemby will be that, if Mitch is moderately successful. It is the $8 billion transformation of a city, a downtown, that hinges on that. And if it, and I'm not going to go too far with this, but if it doesn't happen, if Marvel doesn't happen, and there's not a stadium imminent, this could be the beginning of something we don't even want to talk about.
Right.
And it all hinges on this. And the awesomeness of what is coming is, I'm sure it settles in very slowly for Mitch, but there's a lot on his shoulders today.
All right. I do want to hear from Mitch Johnson on the other side, and we will do that. I want to give away a family 4-pack to the Brahmas DC Defenders game. That's coming up May 9th at the Alamo Dome. Let's go caller number 5. You'll want a 4-pack of tickets to go see some Brahmas Defenders action down at the Alamo Dome. All right, when we come back, we'll hear from Mitch. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Kinetico water softeners have been part of San Antonio for as long as I can remember. Heck, we had a water softener in our home, and I remember the Kinetico label sitting on it many, many years ago. And I've carried on the tradition in my house and on my side of town. It's a necessity. You live on a well. Water softener, water treatment system is an absolute necessary part of your life. And some of you might be living on, your regular track home and not consider the value of what a water treatment service does for you. Because what it does, you quite frankly don't see very much. Because you don't see powder on your dishes, and because you don't see that sediment on your plates or on your faucets, because you don't see it, you don't think it's doing anything, and when exactly that's what it's doing. You can tell when a water softener isn't doing its job by the way your skin feels, your hair feels, what it looks like on your dishes, And if you've got a Kinetico, one less problem, right? And we've all aspired to get the very best, but how often do you actually get the opportunity to attain it? Well, Kinetico is not only the very best, but it's easily attainable. And right now, if you'll call 656-PURE, not only will you get the very best, you'll get it for free for 90 days. They want to prove to you what I'm telling you. It's the best thing you can do for your home. And on that 91st day, when you do decide to buy, they made it awfully easy. With approved credit, you got 0% down. You're going to get money for your old water softener and a little gift, a reverse osmosis drinking station that is valuable. I'm talking about why do you get a water treatment system? Just for this. You got ready access to water, clean and ready, no more bottled water in your life. On your sink, got the decor to match yours, all for just taking advantage of the very best water softener and treatment system you can find. Call Kinetico today at 656-PURE. Call them and get the very best. And when you do, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working trouble spots at 1604 westbound Gold Canyon. That wreck in the right lane. It's got you backed up to Green Mountain, so tack on at least an extra 25, 30 minutes to your commute. On 37 northbound at I-10, that's a stall. It's been moved to the Gore right there at the apex, so about a 5-minute delay has you slow from Fair Avenue. On I-10 eastbound Fresno, that stall has been moved off a main lane, now off to the shoulder. Pretty much most all our major freeway systems are slowing down. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.
Crispy chicken nuggets are back at Taco Bell. All white meat chicken, coated in tortilla chip breading, and paired with unique dipping sauces. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Quiet down, here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Tonight, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-885-4884. 800-885-4884. 800-885-4884.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
All right, Morning Huddle 94.1. San Antonio's Sports Star. We heard from Gregg Popovich, and he passed the mic over to Mitch Johnson. Passed the torch, passed the mic, passed it all over to Mitch Johnson. How old is Mitch?
We should know that. It's
we really should.
Center for everything we've talked about the last couple of days. Probably in mid-30s.
He looks like a boy. He's 38. Yeah. Looks like a boy, which is wild. He's like a child. But grown-ass man.
He's 38.
38 years old.
A reflection of us than it is.
It very well could be that.
My point in life.
It's
closer to you.
Full head of hair. It's just disgusting.
Punk.
No wrinkles. He's a damn kid.
I bet his knees don't pop every time he gets up.
Exactly.
He eats good. Yeah.
Must be nice. Must be nice. But here's what Mitch had to say after taking the mic and the torch from Gregg Popovich.
I am honored by this opportunity and even more humbled by the people that I'll be able to partner with and serve. And I'd just like to share a few acknowledgement and thank yous. First to the whole family, Peter, John, Lauren, Kate, Corinna, and JB. To R.C. Buford, Brian Wright, for all you guys do and continue to grow our program and push this place forward and think innovatively. To the staff this past year, under such unique circumstances that supported me and made the job so much more enjoyable around when times were hard and not too overwhelming when things were tough. I thank you for that. It required all of us to step up out of our comfort zones and do a little bit more than was initially expected.
So obviously very grateful, very humbled by the opportunity, as he should be. It's a big boy job, man. This is again, I said it yesterday, you just got tossed the keys to a Maserati. Be careful, but understand that there's some trust involved that they're even throwing those keys your way. Mitch also spoke to the current players, and I guess basically his message to them on what to expect from him.
To the current players, you are the part of this opportunity that is the most exciting. You guys have put yourselves in a place to continue to grow, to do something special. And I cannot wait to continue to grow with you, partner with you, challenge you, and try to get better every single day. And my only guarantee is that I will give you everything I have to do that.
Again, he's saying all the right things. This is it's a lot of job, man. It is a lot of job for a guy who we haven't seen do it.
The next step, and I do think we need to surround him with some serious NBA knowledge. Now that we know that this is it, I think the truly successful coaches are great at divvying responsibility, at delegating. And I do think when Pop was young and we were making that first run, he had the wherewithal to go get experienced and older coaches that could do some things and were part of the game that he wasn't. And I'd like to see him with Brett Brown staying beside him. And I wouldn't mind seeing Budenholzer or some other former NBA coach with a particular set of skills and expertise in a certain thing to come in and to help and to augment and to grow the program. I'd like to see this giant coaching tree that Pop has, just accumulated over these years. Let's pay some dividends. Let's get some of this back and continue this program the way Mitch talked about it, this long line of silver and black that doesn't appear to be altering its course. Let's maintain that, but let's do it with some dudes that have done it before.
And now we hear Mitch talking about, and we hear a lot of people, in fact, talking about the rebuild. And personally, I think you and I believe the time for a rebuild is over. Like the roster now,
the key points are in place.
This is good enough.
We have the cornerstones. You're right. Now we're putting paint on it.
It's certainly good enough that it should be in the conversation. You shouldn't be sitting at home at this point of the season. You shouldn't be home in May going, oh, we're getting close.
No, you got an all-star and 2 rookies of the year standing ready to go. So no, it's time. You're finishing touches.
But here's Mitch talking about that he doesn't consider this a rebuild.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of experiences along the way. All the experiences will hopefully be able to be something to have a takeaway from, to grow from. positive or negative. I think being able to be in front of these guys and partner with them and challenge them and lead them is going to be the biggest thing, because I feel like we have a hold on the direction that we're heading into, and we want to build upon something. This is not a restart. This is not a reboot. This is not it's a new chapter because it looks different, but the theme of the book isn't changing.
And that one of the things I've wondered is he being put in this place because Pop can still be coached by proxy? You know what I mean?
Well, that's obviously part of the plan. Yeah. I cannot stress the fact that after what I saw from Pop yesterday, it reinforced to me that this was the plan all along. We just kind of fast forwarded. That we probably were going to have a very healthy Pop a year from now go, I have done all I can. I have run my race. It is now time to hand the baton. He didn't get a chance to do that, so we're ahead of the schedule by a year. But this appears to have been in place long before the stroke.
Yep. And then he discussed finding a balance between coaching the way he wants to coach and continuing the Spurs way, doing things the Spurs way.
Yeah, I've been doing it, I think, just like every other staff member and employee here for the last 9 years myself. I don't think that standard or that approach changes regardless of title. Obviously, the responsibilities of that title change, but starting to work in this organization can be difficult at times because you want to find your way, but you also want to be told what to do just because they've done so many things right. And a lot of times, sometimes you don't get the direction because you need to just feel it and be in it and learn it. And I think every step of the way in every different title or role that I've experienced, that's been a part of it, while also being true to yourself. Because as long as you're true to yourself, even as you have some tough times and mistakes, the genuinity and authenticity comes out. And because you are blessed to be working with so many great people, you kind of find a way to problem solve and figure things out.
Again, this is, if we hadn't seen what we saw this year, I'd have a lot more confidence in this transition. But do you agree?
Well, yeah.
Like if Pop hadn't started this year and this press conference had happened in August, would you feel better about Mitch Johnson becoming the head coach of the Spurs right now?
I don't think I'd feel any different because he talked about it. I've been here for 9 years. I had to kind of learn my way, but you had plenty of arrows on the floor. You had plenty of signs. Pop did it that way. Do it this way. Do it Pop's way. And I will say this, the quicker that this becomes Mitch Johnson's Spurs, the better off he'll be. The quicker that he can separate himself from the aura that was Pop, and the quicker you can go, but I ain't him. That I'm telling you, that's the crux of his you cannot coach Pop's team. You can't coach another team the way that guy would have coached him. You're not him. You're not Pop. And there'll be times when he's going to have to do some stuff that Pop wouldn't have done just because I'm not him.
But are they hiring him to be Mitch Johnson, or are they hiring him because
that's why the guy that replaces the guy can never make it, because there has to be a disjoint, a buffer, a reset. And this isn't a reset at all. This is a prolong. This is a continuation. A reset is, oh my goodness, what we did before, we ain't doing again because I ain't him. And as much as Mitch might be a phenomenal coach, he is never going to be Pop. And the moment this becomes Mitch Johnson's Spurs, the better off he'll be.
Here's Mitch talking about what the focus of this offseason is going to be.
The thing that I will be focusing on the most in this offseason will be this current group of guys and the current players in our roster right now, and get them as much better as we can in that time allowed. And then obviously Brian and the rest of the group will do the due diligence they do, and we will partner and discuss things and be on the same page and aligned as we always are. But I think my sweat equity and time will be devoted to these current guys right here and continue to get them as improved as we can.
Again, saying all the right things. All right, now Before we finish up here, I wanted to play this clip from Brian Wright because they asked Brian Wright what gives you the confidence that Mitch is the right guy, which is an answer, quite frankly, that I'm interested in hearing and to see. I wonder if it's as much Brian Wright and the rest of the organization have confidence in him, or Pop said this is the best guy and the organization fell in line.
We'll find out.
Here's Brian Wright.
Well, I think you just heard a lot of it. These positions are hard. And, in the seat that I sit in, you want a leader that's authentic and genuine to themselves. You want a teacher that can help bring a group forward, and you want a partner. And we started the exact same summer. So I've seen his growth. He's seen my growth. We've been a part of each other's growths. And it was an easy decision, and felt super confident in the human being that he is and his ability to do those three things: lead, teach, and be an amazing partner.
Here's the thing about this. When everyone in the organization says we have full confidence, this is the right guy, after someone like Pop has been there for a million years, and everybody to a man says, yep, this is our guy, it was never a doubt. If it doesn't work, now everything gets questioned about the process of, it's very similar to what's happened in New England. As soon as Tom Brady was gone, and then Belichick started to wither, and then they brought in Gerard Mayo, and it didn't work. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, is the Patriot way really the way anymore? Is that old Patriot way? Is that the direction we still want to be pointing? If this doesn't work, do we start to say, okay, it's got to be someone who has nothing to do with the Spurs? Like they
didn't do that though. I mean, New England did go back to the well. They just went back to a deeper part of the well.
And who knows if this is going to work either.
But they went and got a guy with experience, and I would say that the comparisons are pretty damn close. I mean, we're talking about. But one of the things that to the New England's credit was they failed fast. They realized very early on, Jared Mayo, we thought you were already yanked. And they pulled the plug and said, we need more experience. We need a guy who has done more and actually done some things away from Bill. Has the Bill principles and exercises the Bill principles, but does it in his particular.
You mean a guy like Steve Kerr or?
And ideally, that probably was part of the early discussions, but Steve put those to bed saying, I ain't leaving. And he said that a year ago. I ain't going anywhere from Golden State when he signed the new deal. So they had to move on. But I know Steve Kerr was in part of the discussions 2-3 years ago when Pop was, still healthy but still planning his exit.
So you mean more like a Becky Hammon or a Will Hardy?
Yes, I'm telling you, they're all in on this. But and you have to. Some of the things that I hear you love, because there's some buzzwords floating around that every one of them use. Not only did Coach use them, but GM used them. Partnership and servant. Robert Greenleaf's the guy that started this servant leadership movement back in the 70s. And servant leadership is brilliant when everybody is in a position to be a leader and a servant. When you are a servant but you have no leadership, you're just a servant. And the leadership helps you serve and lift people. This idea works when you have a system in place. But as long as Mitch is not the decider, do you feel like Mitch is the guy that's going to decide the outcome of the Spurs today? Do you feel like he's the guy that trades timeouts, that he is the decider?
No. If the Spurs are good enough, if the players become good enough, then the Spurs' success isn't going to be.
Who's the decider now?
Victor Wembanyama is the decider.
Well, I'm talking about as far as coaching general. Who is the guy that makes? Is it RC?
I don't know.
I
don't know. But what I do believe is this roster that's here is good enough that even if Mitch is a middle of the road coach, they can still become a good team. I don't know if they can reach championship level, but they can still be a playoff level team with poor coaching.
I don't think we have enough talent to even say that.
Okay.
I mean, maybe in 3 years when Steph's a 3-year vet. We're talking about a second-year player and a third-year player that you're relying an awful lot on, and we know what that takes.
I want to ask you about a weird timing thing, something that, like, I didn't put two and two together until today, even though this was news from yesterday that relates back to the Spurs. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle 94.1.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket.com is the new home for all things home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started, all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
My name is John Clay Wolf. I'm the founder of GiveMeTheVin.com. Every month, for the next 10 months, everyone that sells us their car to GiveMeTheVin.com will get put in a drawing for a $25,000 winner. We're going to pull one of you out of a hat, and somebody's going to win $25,000. So we're paying more, and you might win $25,000. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's Best Car Buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working trouble spots at 1604 westbound Gold Canyon. That wreck in the right lane, it's got you backed up to Green Mountain, so tack on at least an extra 25, 30 minutes to your commute. On 37 northbound at I-10, that's a stall. It's been moved to the Gore right there at the apex, so about a 5-minute delay has you slow from Fair Avenue. On I-10 eastbound Fresno, that stall has been moved off a main lane, now off to the shoulder. Pretty much most all our major freeway systems are slowing down. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continued last night. Both road teams winning in thrilling fashion. The New York Knicks 108-105 over the Boston Celtics. Jalen Brunson had 29 points in the overtime win. The Denver Nuggets took down the Oklahoma City Thunders on the road 121-119. Aaron Gordon hit a three with 3 seconds to go to take the victory. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Taking you home on a Tuesday. All right, Rob. You mentioned Steve Kerr, who had said as much. He was happy in Golden State. Okay. Do you think the Spurs reached out to anybody else? Do you think they reached out to Becky or anyone else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
and then
talk to him at least.
Do you think that the decision was already made that it was going to be Mitch and they just did their due diligence, or do you think they went through a process and decided that Mitch was still the best guy?
I think they went through a process and decided that Mitch was the best guy available.
Okay. The reason why I ask that is, in the NBA, let's say you coach a team for 3 seasons, and your average in those 3 seasons, you win 28 games per year. What generally happens to you?
You're fired, yeah.
So you're saying you normally don't get like a 5-year extension offered to you?
No, but I would also say it depends on the circumstances at which when you were hired. If you came into a team that had the year before won 17 games and then you won 28 and you're redoing the franchise and you're having to do some things that take time just because of the way the salary cap is structured, you do get some more time. But normally if you're a losing coach after 3 years, you get let go.
Well, Will Hardy is an interesting case because the last time he was not the coach, Quinn Snyder was, that was 21-22. The Jazz won their division and won 49 games. Since then, they've won 37, then 31, most recently 17.
But this is a team, when Will Hardy got there, his general manager, Danny Ainge, arrived and traded away Donovan and Gobert and traded away. And so he gets to work under the auspices of, we are dismantling and rebuilding. So, I'm going to ask you to lose games. They actively tanked this year. So, we have to look at the circumstances behind the record. And
I get it.
He's working under the efforts of his general manager going, I get you. You're safe.
Well, he's been extended through 2031.
And don't be surprised by the timing of this.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think there's a world where the Spurs said, hey, we know you know what we do here?
I was shocked when Will left, but I think when Will left 4 or 5 years ago that he saw Pop, because we all thought after the Olympics that he had coached that it would be done. Then we thought after he lost his wife that he would be done. And I think Will Hardy did too. And then finally, Pop told him, go take another job, man. I'm not going anywhere. And he got there, and I guarantee you they talked to him. I'm not saying they waited on Will to say yes or no. But if over the last 6 months they didn't talk to Will Hardy and Bud and, You name every other coach that's come through these doors just to kind of see what was going on. That's malpractice. And I'm pretty sure one thing about the Spurs is they have full scope plans, and they follow the plan. So I'm sure they talked to him. Now, was it an interview? I don't know about that, but I'm sure if the conversation was certainly the predicate to an interview, if that was the plan. I think that they talked to a lot of folks, and Will was probably the heir apparent until Mitch.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Becky. We thought it was Bud or those guys that have come and gone. But no, it's always been the guys that, like Becky, who showed up and did the laundry and got the watched film and locked up the gym and began like Brian Wright did and Mitch did from the beginning, from the get-go. They were grunts, and they grew into the position. And I always assumed that when the transition came, it would be from somebody that was here and left. No, it appears the plan was you got to be here and stay here. And if you did do that, you get to be the head coach and the general manager.
I just don't think it was lost on me yesterday, but for whatever reason, when I woke up this morning, I was like, why did he sign an extension the day that they announce that that Mitch Johnson is now the head coach of the Spurs? Because Will Hardy was a name that I think you and I both kind of thought would be.
He was the first Mitch. He got here before Mitch. He
right.
did Mitch's job. He was sitting first chair. He did all those things.
And also he's gone out and gotten NBA coaching experience.
Yeah, and I thought that would be the key. The guy that was here, that left, that had head coaching experience that would come back. But it appears by at least this hire, they didn't want any other head coaching experience. They didn't want the coach to have something other than the Pop mantra. They wanted everything that was, and they wanted to maintain it. And when I say they, it's Peter John and it's R.C. Buford. Those are the old heads that are left.
And Claymore's talking about Becky and Kerr. Is it possible that they just were happy where they were? Well, sure. I mean, Steve Kerr's the highest paid coach in the NBA. He's got 4 rings. He can do whatever. Like, he can do no wrong there. They'll let him stay in Golden State as long as he wants to.
And he just signed an extension, too.
Look, Becky makes $1 million a year.
I'm surprised it wasn't her.
Becky, I do believe if they had offered Becky, she would have taken it. Yeah,
so too.
Yes, she's won a couple rings in Las Vegas with Lady Basketball. That's $1 million a year job.
And she's the best.
She's the best at it. I think, and it would be, I mean, she would become like a folk hero in a way, like the first female coach, like head coach of a major, like a major American professional franchise. It's never happened.
And it will, and it'll probably be her that does it.
But
can you imagine doing that and taking over for Pop? You want to talk about a double responsibility? So sometimes what looks good ain't necessarily good for you at the time, and I think that's part of Becky.
So I think Claymore's saying Becky's happy where she is. You can say that. Like at saying Becky, you can quintuple your money and go be like a trailblazer. I think that she probably would have taken it had they asked her. I really think that – I don't think they asked her.
I don't think so either.
I think they probably had a discussion with her, but they probably did it knowing that Mitch was going to be their guy.
But there's also, if she's wise, you can be a trailblazer, but you want to land someplace without all of the pressure of not only are you the first woman, but you're the first woman to coach Victor Wembanyama. You're the first woman to do all of these things. That's a big ask.
And you're right. I mean, he says she's looking for money or happiness. Maybe she's happy, but often, like, if you are happy in your job and you can get a job that you're doing the same business and making 5X, usually that makes you happy.
Well, let's talk about Becky for a second. Now, Becky had an opportunity. She was the finalist for the Portland Trailblazer job. And when it came down to it, now this is hearsay and rumor. I can't substantiate other than I've heard it from enough people that would know.
Objection, Your Honor.
That when it came down to it, and the players and the administration with Portland started talking to former players under Becky, they came back and said maybe not as player-friendly as you might think.
Okay.
That she was a little bit tougher than maybe Portland was ready for.
But also, do you think the Spurs would shy away from that?
No, but I do think Portland, another team, would.
Yeah.
Because not only am I bringing in a woman to coach a bunch of men, but she's going to sound like Bobby Knight. And,
That's what I'm saying. Like an organization who's not maybe accustomed to that would be less open to it.
I think that there was some maturation from Becky as well. I think that she had to grow into it, and it wasn't ready initially. And she might not be ready now. I don't know. But I can tell you this. For professionalship, it would look great, but you'd know that you've only got about a 20% chance of success in this. You have to walk in the door going, I'm going to have to be extraordinary, and I'm going to have to be lucky.
Well, and it's also, I mean, let's face it, if she came to the NBA and failed,
that's what I'm saying.
It sets things back.
And then you fail with Wemby, with a franchise that's trying to build $1 billion thing, $8 billion, and trying to, in the long term, just stay in San Antonio without Vegas yanking us up. So there's so much going on that you kind of go, well, maybe this isn't the right time for Becky to take this job either.
Bear County Social Apparel says, y'all are just wasting time. Manu will eventually replace Mitch and be the head coach. You had said that name several times.
Yeah, I'm not that would have been a big ask, but, the fact that he is still in the organization and still showing up for work means there's long-term plans for Manu. And since Nick got this or Mitch got this, and you hope for the best, and if he is absolutely successful, then maybe Manu's in the prime for the presidency or the general managership, because he's hanging around the Spurs with a long-term plan.
But he's not doing any coaching or anything anywhere, is he?
Well, not anywhere else, but he's still an active member of the Spurs. He's done. He shows up at the building. He's doing things for them and the NBA. He's part of the NBA's Latin American investment. He's doing some stuff with the NBA broadly, but he's also still employed with the Spurs. He is a player development guy.
Claymore says if it doesn't work out, you guys would run her out of town so quick on
Yes,
these airwaves.
Absolutely,
I would. But you know what? I'm going to do the same thing to Mitch Johnson.
Yes.
Claymore,
we have Pop would have been run out on a rail too if he'd have been horrible for 5 consecutive years. That first couple of years when he showed up, but no, he won immediately and won us over.
Yeah, I've got to. I personally will have a short leash for this coach because I saw what he was already.
Well, finally, and I'm glad you brought this up, because most franchises, when we talk about transition and change, the owner is part of the sentence. We talk about the owner is named by name. We bring up the owner. We bring up Holt. And what is Peter Holt? What is not? You notice in all of this, Peter John is kind of a secondary thing. Well, we've been, because of Pop's size and importance to the franchise, he's been bigger than ownership. Well, now we've got a new owner, a young owner, who's growing into being an owner himself, although it's family business. He's been part of it. But a new coach, I wonder how much the owner will now, I'm tired of this. I'm going to fire the coach. Where Peter Holt, Peter John's dad, was was put in this situation. The previous ownership, before Holt took ownership with McCombs and the other groups that owned, head coach was a bit of a, we had some coaches come and go. Keep in mind, John Lucas coached here for about a month and a half, it felt like. We could keep going. Stan Albeck came and went. Bob Hill came and went. Who else did I leave out of this prior to Pop?
Rex Hughes.
Rex Hughes.
How dare you forget?
Well, Rex was part of that. Bob Bass.
But on a real note, Jerry Tarkanian came here, right?
I left out of that mess. So
Rex Hughes was like just an interim coach.
Yeah, he was an interim, like Bob Bass was the general manager and would step in and coach every time we fired him. And Larry Brown too. So prior to the Holtz, even though the Spurs were always a good team, we've never been a bad team. This is the worst stretch the Spurs have ever had, quite frankly, right now. We were winning teams going into playoffs, and we'd fire our coach every 4 years. And there were some weird hires, but we were not immune. We just haven't had to deal with this in 30 years.
Yeah. It's funny that this is the worst run.
This is literally the worst the Spurs have ever been in the franchise history.
Oh,
isn't that amazing?
It is. It is pretty amazing. What's crazy is in the last several years, Gregg Popovich has dropped to like 4th in winning percentage all time in Spurs history. Like you would think, like if you said who's got the highest winning percentage in Spurs history, it'd be almost a given.
5 rings, man. I can't imagine. I don't remember a season with less than 47 wins. So
no, he's got a lower winning percentage than Bob Hill.
And the sad is, can you imagine? And the funny thing is, all of Mitch Johnson's wins and losses this year are on Pop's record because he was still interim. So all those losses got applied to Pop.
Oh, that's what cost him. Thanks, Mitch. That's what Greg said.
That's why he had to give him that job so that all of those losses that might pile
your
up
own
next year are going to
record.
just foil my percentages.
Yeah, of course I felt. Of course I had those losses. Look at this guy who took over for me.
To hire him or he's going to get me fired.
Oh, my God. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll see what's going on in the world outside of sports. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working trouble spots at 1604 westbound Gold Canyon. That wreck in the right lane, it's got you backed up to Green Mountain, so tack on at least an extra 25, 30 minutes to your commute. On 37 northbound at I-10, that's a stall. It's been moved to the Gore right there at the apex, so about a 5-minute delay has you slow from Fair Avenue. On I-10 eastbound Fresno, that stall has been moved off a main lane, now off to the shoulder. Pretty much most all our major freeway systems are slowing down. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends June 14th. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Let's Rodeo San Antonio Brahmas style. The herd you love returns to the Alamo Dome for their Let's Rodeo theme game. Join us Friday, May 9th at 7 p.m. when your San Antonio Brahmas battle the DC Defenders. Dust off your boots and grab your cowboy hat to celebrate with rodeo-inspired fun for the whole family. Enjoy a pregame happy hour in the H-E-B Plaza with $3 frozen margaritas and beer. Get your tickets today at UFLbrahmas.com. That's UFLbrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off select paints and stains May 2nd through the 12th. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Refresh your home inside and out with colors that make every space feel brand new. From cozy interiors to stunning exteriors, we've got the perfect shade for your next project. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice.
you can with Orchard. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. You buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle 94.1. Guess what we've got, Rob?
What we got?
We've got Cannibal Corpse tickets.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. The show's not till October. It'll give you time to buy your black T-shirts, your black jeans, your chain wallet, and be ready to rock out.
I also just got the ACL lineup.
Oh. Is ACL coming up already?
October.
Oh, my God.
October the 3rd through the 5th.
What are we seeing? Give me some names.
Let's see. Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doichi. Those are the headliners.
Those are the headliners?
That's the ones that are in the largest.
Am I not cool anymore?
Well, anymore is the key on that one. But how about, are you a big fan of Spacey Jane?
Nope.
Good, because that's not a real band.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah.
I'm just trying to trick you. No, that is a real band. You a big fan of Magdalena Day?
Actually, no.
Rainbow Kitten Surprise? Let's see here. South Arcade?
No.
Moody Judy?
No.
Link Emoja?
No.
Hey Nothing? You're not a fan of them?
How
about the Houston Tillotson University Jazz Collective? Fan of them?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. I thought so.
Yes.
Farmer's Wife?
Yeah.
Hey.
Don't tell my wife. My wife will be here by October, so no, I hate that lady.
How about Spill Tab?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
The Heavy?
Vic says he loves the Heavy.
Speaking of, how are you with the?
I love them.
How are you with the Passion Pit?
Passion Pit. I've actually heard of Passion Pit, so now you're.
Okay. How about Japanese Breakfast?
Oh, that one's. How about Wet Leg?
There you go. Wet Leg. That's a band.
Wet
You
Leg.
ever had Wet Leg?
Yeah, actually, right after I was a Backseat Lover, who Backseat Lover's also playing. T-Pain.
This can't be the headliners, though, right? I mean, we're not.
Maybe
going,
it is.
We're not going into John Summit as a headliner.
T-Pain still around?
Yeah,
he's got his Vooz box.
That's an unfortunate ACL headlining crew. Like, again, either that or I'm just no longer hip, because none of those bands that you mentioned do I go, oh yeah, I'd go pay $800 to see these guys for 2 weekends.
You ever seen the new stuff from Car Seat Headrest?
No. Cage the Elephant, I've heard of. They were around a while ago.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I'm just not. I'm out of it. I think, man. I think I'm just out of it.
I'm just
no
there
longer
for the craft beer and the
I'm no
chicks.
longer cool enough for ACL. I went to every ACL for 9 or 10 years in a row. I was the cool kid.
Last year, I just found a nice, comfortable spot and let the world go by. Just hung out.
Yeah.
Just pointed one direction to the other.
Also, back then, when I worked for the evil empire of radio, I had VIP tickets. Now, I don't want to go and be amongst the plebes to watch Doja Cat. I would only go to Doja Cat if I was a VIP.
I've never had VIP tickets. I don't know what that's like. I've never had the pleasure.
Really?
I've been with the peons.
Even when you worked
Peeing
for
in the mud.
the evil empire?
I'm not a big ACL goer. I've only been 3 times.
Oh,
It's
okay.
I'm not a big festival thing like that.
Yeah, I'm just not.
Maybe if I went VIP.
None of the headlining bands. You Hosier, Douchy, Johnson.
Is that how you say it? Douchy?
I think so. No, I think it's Douchy.
Douchy?
I think I might be dumb. The Strokes, Luke Combs.
Which I would be down to see the Strokes.
I'd be down to see the Strokes if they were like
Luke Combs.
if the Strokes were like the third band, on the stage. Like I don't want if the Strokes were the headliner. Give me a break.
Who was it last year? There's somebody that I was really excited to see.
What was it? What was the name of that band that I was making fun of? That your niece is like, oh, I love them. I can't even remember what it was. Well, yeah, either way, it doesn't matter. All right, I wanted to see what else is going on in the world outside of
what's the name
sport.
of that band? It's gonna kill me.
Krungbin.
Yeah, Krungbin. There's no Krungbin performing?
No Krungbin on this one.
Oh, they broke it.
Here's some news on the Diddy
First day of
trial
yesterday.
Does it worry you if I said, okay, potential jurors in the Diddy sex trafficking trial are being asked about their familiarity with other celebrities whose names may pop up in the trial? If you were one of those celebrities, would you be worried that your name might pop up in Diddy's trial?
Yeah. There's a long list of those names that I keep seeing float around that you're like, yeah, he's been seen at some of those parties.
Yeah,
So-
Gilbert said Dua Lipa, Blink-182, Chris Stapleton.
It was Blink-182 and Stapleton that I was chasing last year. That's right.
Some of the names that have popped up that jurors have been asked, hey, are you familiar with Michael B. Jordan? That's not ideal. Are you familiar with Mike Myers?
What?
Yeah.
Our friendly Canadian
of Austin
comedian?
Powers fame. Are you familiar? Like Kanye West, not really a big surprise.
Right.
Are you familiar with Destiny Child singer Michelle Williams, the third leg of Destiny's Child?
It's going to get
not
weird.
quite Beyonce, Kelly Rowland level, but the third gal, the other gal.
The other one, the spare.
Yeah, the other gal. So they're asking them, are you familiar with all these people? It's I would be nervous. 190 names. Now they haven't released all the names, but what it does mean is we should expect to hear some names. We should expect to hear some names, and
let me tell you, Diddy he ain't going down without somebody going down
Oh,
with him. My house might burn down, but so will yours, brother.
Hey.
We all going down together.
Austin Powers was with me.
Yeah.
It was Wayne's World. It was a Wayne's World guy.
What I wanted, that's random. Michael Myers?
And then Michael B. Jordan?
Well, Michael B. Jordan, he's a player. He runs in a circle. But you want to hear somebody like some kind of...
Michael B. Jordan's like a young dude,
Yeah,
like who's it now. I wouldn't. I was surprised by that.
Like I want him to throw out like Urkel. Was Urkel there? I want to hear some random names. Just like name somebody that did not expect to be freaky, like Michael Cera.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, this dude was a freak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be Tim Allen.
Yeah, it's like we can't get those names. Like Tim Allen came in his gimp suit on that second part. Like,
yeah,
what?
you know who was at one of those parties? Roseanne Barr.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I have heard like Ashton Kutcher's name floated around too. Like there's some nervous cats out there
Bunch
with
of
some
freaks.
with some wives that are going. You told me you were playing cards.
Yeah, you were.
I thought you were shooting a movie.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Never could quite figure out where that baby oil smell came from. Now I know.
Now, if you don't know, now you know. Elsewhere in the world outside of sports, a Kentucky second grader got hold of the internet, and
they have internet in Kentucky?
They do, apparently. Holly LaFavors from Lexington shared on her Facebook that her son Liam was playing
Liam
on her
LaFavor?
Liam LaFavors.
All right.
Why would you name him
I
that?
know. So carry on tells me a lot about her, but carry on.
He was playing around on her phone and got hold of Amazon. Liam has developmental delays, was born with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder.
Oh, no.
What? And she says the condition affects his decision-making.
Probably hers, too. But
while he was playing on her phone, he ordered some things off of Amazon. In fact, he ordered 30 cases of Dum Dums lollipops. Now, you might think, okay, what 30 cases? Like, what's the big?
Yeah, how many?
What's the big deal? Yeah. Well, each case holds 2,340 suckers.
That would keep Dennis
times 30.
And retails for $130 each, which means 70,000 suckers got delivered to her front porch in Kentucky.
How much does a case of Dum Dums cost again?
$130.
That's actually not too bad.
All because this gal was getting hammered while she was pregnant. That's what I blame it on. Like, she's like, it's affected his decision making. Well, that's your fault. That's your fault, lady. You gave him that fetal alcohol syndrome. I blame you. If you could have controlled your Lone Star, I guess they don't drink Lone Star Light. If you could have not hammered 40 PBR a day when you were pregnant.
She's sucking back some sour mash.
Yeah, that's my guess as well.
She knows the Hawk Tua girl.
Nah.
They're hanging out together.
Let's hope that you've learned a lesson now. And finally, a 29-year-old man in the Philippines was at the zoo. And
I know this isn't going to end well.
No.
29-year-old Filipino man at a zoo.
No, it
doesn't end well no matter what.
He wanted to take a picture with a fake crocodile, except it was not a fake crocodile. And he climbed a fence and put his hand on the crocodile and then was attacked. And a zookeeper then had to go into the enclosure and hit the female on the head with concrete to make her open her mouth. He had to get 50 stitches. Now, mind you,
thought he would have lost his hand.
He climbed over a chain link fence with a cell phone in his hand. I'll be honest. I'm gonna let you go. Hey, bub, I'm not beating a crocodile with concrete because you got.
No,
that's on you, man.
In fact, they want feeding time. I get to get off early.
Yeah. I mean, why do the animals always have to be punished? Why did we have to lose Harambe?
Oh, yeah.
Because people climb into animal enclosures. Yeah. Like, there needs to be signs at the zoos that say, listen.
No, there needs to be electric fences to not let them get in.
Well, I don't want Harambe to touch an electric fence.
Yeah, you won't touch
I kind of do.
Not me.
I want that electric fence between me and him.
Yeah, they got to learn. They got to learn.
And it's funny, too. It's also very funny to watch.
It's not funny to shock animals with electricity.
It's kind of funny.
Now, if
a little bit.
When they scream and run around, it's kind of funny.
Now, if a kid touched it, that would be funny.
I mean, so it's
but a gorilla, I mean, listen.
Now the second time they do, it's not really as funny.
Yeah.
Gorillas are focused right now on how to beat 100 men at once. They're working really hard. They're gathering intel. They're planning their battles.
This needs to stop. I'm getting way too many memes. It's not one man and a gorilla or 100 gorillas. There's 100 of a bunch of stuff coming at me.
Yeah. But I still think.
So, no, okay. You can't waver your way out of this. But I think there should be, kind of like when you go into a prison and you sign off the form, like, if you're kept hostage, we ain't coming for you.
Yes.
And you just sign off, like, if you decide to go take a picture with an alligator, we're going to do our best
on you,
to save
Bubba.
you. But I'm not putting my people at risk, so good luck
and
to you.
short of, like, we're going to, I mean, poor Harambe lost his life.
Yeah.
Lost his life.
Yeah, Harambe had a history, though.
No, he never forget. Never forget.
Harambe had done some bad stuff.
No, Harambe was
changed his life around, but as a young gorilla.
Harambe was a good gorilla.
Before he was a silverback, he made some poor decisions.
He was a good gorilla. This crocodile, there's good and bad crocs on both sides. This was a bad one.
I mean, they get you. We'll come in when we're safe.
He bit a Filipino person. This was a good crocodile. He bit a Filipino who came in illegally. He came illegally into the enclosure and was eaten by the crocodile.
Well, wait a minute. Where's this crocodile from?
This crocodile is
was he from the Philippines or was he imported in?
He is a rare American crocodile.
An American croc?
And let it be a warning to anyone who enters.
Mar-a-Lago croc?
If you enter our enclosure, you will be eaten. You'll be eaten very badly, very badly. Many bite marks. Did you hear what he was talking about Alcatraz opening?
My God.
One person escaped. His clothes were ripped badly.
Sharks.
And he had many shark bites. Very many shark bites.
You can't write that stuff, man.
I love it.
Like, did he just say Alcatraz and sharks?
This is
all right, I'm in.
We're on our second president in a row where it's like, who knows what they're going to say, but it always sounds crazy. And you know everybody around the world for the last 12 years has been looking at us like, these guys.
Is my translator not working? Is he saying the words that my translator's saying?
Meanwhile, like Biden was like,
did he just say sharks?
Sharks. People are like, what in the hell?
No one ever escaped, huh? And there's the prisoners with birds in their pockets.
Oh, what a wild time we live in. What a wild time.
Never escaped.
Just trying to be alive.
There was one man, he tried. He was bitten by the shark many times. Many shark bites on him, on his body. They found his body. Clothes were ripped. Oh, it's golden. All right, let's come back. We'll wrap up the show the way we always do with the Daily Lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
See, now the real work begins because he's actually got to go back and edit this thing.
Well, who's going to do the editing?
Well, he'll do it. Eggleston's not going to do it.
When you work with a guy like that, you interview him, there's a lot of edit points.
Well, trust me, James Pledger, our producer, knows every day he records the Sports Center that runs over on KTSA, and they all end, good luck with that, Pledge.
No, that's true. I just heard it a few minutes ago.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Keep your ride summer road trip ready with parts, tools, and accessories from Summit Racing. We have what you need for pre-trip maintenance, plus essentials like emergency roadside kits, tire inflators, jumper cables, boost jump starters, tool sets, and a whole lot more. So hit the highways or take the roads less traveled with confidence. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 25th, 2025. Summitracing.com. Let's build it together.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the Cowboys have wrapped up their rookie mini camp. What did Shireen Williams see? We'll ask her at 5:15.
Plus, the NBA playoffs in full swing. A couple of game ones last night. There's action tonight. We'll get you ready.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Thank you, Jason Minix, for that introduction. Rob reliving his high school days.
I was just thinking, I hate this song.
Do you?
Yes,
This seems like something you would like.
No, this is bubble gum.
This sounds like something I would hate, and you'd be like,
"No, man."
Then you like it?
I don't like this. No.
This is musical bubble gum. There's a little bit of flavor for a second, and you're like, "What is this?"
No, we can cut this from the rotation.
this
This doesn't bring joy.
All right.
No.
I can picture the dude. I don't know what he looks like. I know what he looks like.
Mister.
I can see. That's the band, Mister.
Yeah.
He's jamming on his keyboard.
Yeah.
Got a big 90s jacket on.
Yeah.
Selling records.
Not good. Not good. What's the name of that song? Is Broken Wings?
Kyrie.
Oh,
yeah.
Kyrie. That's right. That's right.
It's even a made-up word.
They have another song called Broken Wings,
that's
right?
the other one I have.
And
yeah.
isn't this the band with like singing about his dead father? And don't they have a hit where they're singing this one? No, this isn't it. No.
Yeah, it was the other one.
This is not good.
Why?
No.
It's awful.
They have another song. Am I wrong? Are they the Is It Love band? Is it? Am I wrong?
Is It Love That I'm Feeling? That's not them.
But they have a song called Is It Love? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know about Mr. I don't want to know about Mr.
I pulled up.
How do you know that?
I'm learning way too
I'm not
much
going to
already.
pretend to be like a Mr. connoisseur because I don't like this music.
Founding members: Richard Page, Steve George, Pat Mastelletto, and Steve Ferris.
Will you see if they have a song called Is It Love while you're looking? Otherwise, it's just going to drive me
Broken
crazy all
Wings
day.
and Kyrie are their biggest hits. I do not see Is It Love.
Okay, I guess maybe I'm wrong. All right, let's wrap up the show the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
No, I was right. They do have a song called "Is It Love." We don't have that on our thing, huh?
I don't think that's listed as their greatest hits.
Well,
that'd be a rather short record.
Yeah, I'm guessing it would not be very long.
Senor.
No, I know. Is This Love is Whitesnake. You guys don't.
Yeah, that's
I know,
what I was
but they have a
that's what you were
song
talking
called
about.
"Is It Love."
During their heyday, they toured with Don Henley, the Bangles, Eurythmics, Tina Turner, Hart, and Adam Ant.
Yeah. The singer from Heart actually pushed their singer down for being a nerd.
Beat him up.
Yeah, you suck, Mister. Not to be confused with Mr. Big, who has an all-time classic ballad.
Weren't they like a super band, Mr. Big? Weren't
No.
the band members from other bands came together?
I don't think so.
Not like super band members.
Oh, what a song!
God, this song sucks.
What? Broken Heart can't be that bad.
I like it when hair bands went acoustic.
Come on, baby.
Went and grabbed
Come
their
on
acoustic
over.
guitar.
Let me be the one to
Push their hair
show
out of the way.
I'm the one who wants
See this?
to
I hate this.
be with you.
Man, this is the worst.
Deep inside, I hope you'll feel
Everybody
it too.
sing.
Waited on a line of greens and blues. Just to be the next to be with you.
I'm gonna go get a beer. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Build up your confidence.
Where's Adam Ant? Is Adam Ant coming on next?
That's right.
Bring on the Bangles.
Build up your confidence so you can be on top for once.
I'm gonna go get a beer. What's the lead act? What's the headliner coming?
Come on, baby. Come on. You know what happened though? Mr. Big They came out and they did a show, and then they changed wigs and became Mr. Mister.
Oh, there we go.
I hear this. I'm going to go check the merch table. Y'all enjoy this. I'll be back. Hey, it's Adam Ant. You just put on a different wig.
All right.
It's the same guy.
We
got Cannibal Corpse tickets.
Is this Cannibal Corpse?
That was Cannibal Corpse you just heard. Actually, it wasn't, but we will give away Cannibal Corpse tickets. When are they playing, Vic? In October.
Probably Halloween night.
They are playing.
Hold on. It is October 9th at the Aztec.
There we go. October 9th at the Aztec.
And tickets go on sale this Friday.
So you can get them before you buy them?
That's right.
What?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to say that. Get your tickets now before you can buy them right here at your home for San Antonio's Cannibal Corpse, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We got the corpsiest corpse of all of them. We got the corpses that eat each other. How about that? None of these other bitch-ass stations have these tickets. Only us right here. Caller number 3, you're going to win tickets to Cannibal Corpse, baby. Caller number 3, get on in here. I'll see you out there eating each other's Cannibal Corpse faces at the Aztec Theater. There we go, baby. All right. Now taking a look at the daily lines. The Pacers, they're at the Cleveland Cavaliers, Rob.
Right. Turn it down.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
I forgot I was doing my rock.
Yeah, you got lost there for a second.
Damn it. I did what it said. The Packers are at the they're at the Cleveland Browns tonight. Sports match games. Who's hitting the home runs? Who's hitting home runs tonight, baby? Pacers at the Cavs. Cavs 9-point favorites after losing game 2. This feels like a hammer spot for Cleveland on the bounce back.
You wonder if they're going to
lay in a big number. I expect they bounce back strong tonight.
You wonder if the Pacers will profit take and just, they've got home court now and they can go on home. But the teams that do upset, the teams that truly upset in a series win game 2.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Pacers, I think that's too big of a number. I like Cleveland. 9 points. I would bet the over before I would bet a 9-point spread.
Okay. Here's what I would do. I would look at the first half of this game, and take a look at the Pacers just to be in control at halftime, and whatever happens beyond that, okay. But
you mean that you like the Pacers?
I like the Pacers. I like the Cavs to get out to an early lead.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen these top seeds kind of melt away leads.
Yeah.
Maybe they can do that, or maybe they would do that. But I think early on, the Cavs, that game 1 had to be a wake-up call for them.
Watch the Garland game-time decision stuff.
Yeah,
and I do think that'll make a difference.
Sure.
But I do think Cleveland's not going to lose again. If they do, well, lots of questions. But I don't think 9 is – I think it's too big. And you can take it from that. But I think that they're not going to be able to stop them. I like a lot of offense on both these teams.
One of the things that I made some money on in the first game was Donovan Mitchell, and his point spread, or his point total, was set at 27.5 in game 1. Donovan Mitchell in the regular season has played pretty well against the Pacers. He's averaged 31 points per game in the regular season against the Pacers. And obviously in the playoffs, star players, as we know, their usage goes up considerably. So even though Donovan Mitchell didn't play a very good game, he had 33 points because the usage, the volume that you're getting from him. So if you can get a number around 28.5, which I think it's up to 28.5 or 29, I would look at the over or higher on Donovan Mitchell's points tonight, just because this has been a good matchup for him, and his usage is out of the wazoo.
What I'm seeing for Mitchell, their expectation is a lot lower than that.
What are you seeing?
I saw over and under 21.5.
Oh,
total points.
I'm surprised at that. DraftKings has 28.5.
This is a teaser though for Prize Picks.
Oh, then that's what it is. Yeah, you're getting like some sort of a.
It's really low. I was surprised to see that. For Cleveland to win, He's going to have to be in the upper 20s. We know that. It's going to be volume scoring. And if Garland doesn't play, it's going to be even more volume.
Yep.
So I do. That's certainly a follow there. Also, on the other side, watch. I think there's some easy numbers to be found for guys like Nembhard, the periphery dudes that I believe are gonna play a huge role throughout the series. If they're gonna win, it'll be because these guys continue to hit.
Nembhard's 12.5. I like his over as well.
Man, me too.
They actually have posted a number for Garland. It's 17.5. I lean to the under on that just because with that toe thing, like if he does, first of all, if he doesn't play, you're voided. No big deal. If he does play and it's not comfortable for him, all you need is 1 minute of him on the court and you're a winner.
I agree, and I'm not going to let Darius Garland change this game. Knowing that he's hurt, the moment he steps in, someone's going to step in his pocket. I am not.
I'm going to step. I'd stomp his toe. That's what I would do.
All things fair.
If I were a bad person, which maybe I am. Maybe I'm a poor sport.
Find out.
Big deal. All right, let's take a look at the other series in the NBA tonight because Game 1 gets underway between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. Minnesota, a 6.5-point favorite. I'm a little surprised by that number. I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched. 6.5 feels like a large number to me. I'm going to go, and that. Remember, I told you the Warriors won 3 out of 4 this year in the regular series, and that was pre-Jimmy Butler. I like Warriors plus 6.5 tonight.
Man. I think this is Minnesota's to win. I do.
I'm not saying the Warriors are going to win. I just don't think they're going to blow them out.
No, I agree. And because I like Minnesota to win, I'm going to have to go on this Game 1. I like Minnesota in this first game just to come out explosive, just to come out and do something to kind of set the tone. Doesn't mean they'll be able to maintain it. Anthony Edwards I think he's primed to have himself a series. I'm trying to see what they've got him on your daily fantasy, but if he's in the mid-20s, not enough. I'm going to find out what we got for him.
All right. I generally,
35 points plus with points and rebounds. 28.5 scoring.
I mean, if you think the Timberwolves are to win this series, you obviously expect Anthony Edwards to.
I think
be a
he
monster.
has to, and I just think what I saw in the last 3 games of the Lakers series, and what we saw this Timberwolves team do over the last 40 games of the year, the last 30 really, Anthony Edwards was very quietly building to something, and what we saw in the last 3 games against the Lakers was him just taking things over. He's going to have to do this against Golden State because they don't have anybody to stop him or Gobert. So I think that's the poison they go with. I like more than 28 for me.
Maple Leafs got a win last night over the Panthers 5-4. Your favorite goalie, Anthony Stolarz, got elbowed in the head and had to leave the game. The Leafs were up 4-1 when he left. Their backup gave up 3 goals to make it 4-4. Toronto won 5-4.
I'd like to be that backup goalie.
Oh, he sucks.
Everybody's praying your starter's healthy.
A couple good games tonight. Game 1s. Hurricanes are at the Capitals. Capitals minus 130. And the Oilers go to Las Vegas. Vegas minus 135 are the Golden Knights. Baseball, we don't have time to get into all the games today, but we will hit a couple of them. Astros-Brewers, your daytime game. Hunter Wisniewski going for the Stros. They are minus 105 against the Brewers. The Dodgers, minus 275 with Tony Gonsolin on the mound. And the Texas Rangers, Nathan Eovaldi goes for the Rangers. They are minus 120 in Boston. Lucas Giolito, former Cy Young winner, Lucas Giolito going for the Red Sox. He's back from injury. They are they're even money, excuse me. And then the Yankees and Padres, Clark Schmidt going for the Yankees. They are minus 110 both ways today. All right, friends, that'll do it for us. We'll try and be better tomorrow. No promises, but we'll come in here and give it the old college try. Blitz comes up at 2. Jason and Joe trying to get you all the way to hump day. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I'm just one of millions of members of Prize Picks that play daily fantasy sports every day, and things just keep getting better. How about 2,000x on your cash today? That's right, cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your best chance to add your favorite players from the court on Prize Picks lineup. And whether it's points, rebounds, assists, and whatever else, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000x your cash today. Turn up your playoff hot takes into tickets on basketball and championship winnings every day. And there's stuff going on all week. Every Tuesday, Prize Picks will discount several projections on the board. They take up to 15 to 25% off savings and fun. And then there's Big Flex Friday. Those picks that don't win, you get your net losses back in